Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday, September the 25th of 2021. Welcome to the critical drinker and the future ruler of terra firma's Mr. Brown's review of the Terminator. I'll start again. I hope you are all very well today. Autumn, I can't get my words out. My teeth, my teeth are not working, boys and girls. Autumn has begun in the northern hemisphere, and yes, it will be November very soon. I love November, I do. This week in pop culture land, Marcia Lucas with Star Wars stuff. A little bit of Doctor Who, who'd have thought. More Waller-Bridge. Jeez. Gender swapping of 007. Toilets. Tampons. And you know what? I think this needs to stop. Period. There's a joke in there, boys and girls. Moving on. Lots to do today, so I think we will, if I'm not buffering, shall we get the guests out? I think we should. So, first up, he's the jester from Leicester, the channel's very own Mr. Sandman lyricist, Star Wars fan, novelist, and the wonderful meme machine. It's Swapshop. Hello.
Meme machine. Bloody hell. Oh, meme machine.
Meme. You all right, pal?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm wide awake, ready to hit the ground running. Been doing a bit of writing and stuff. And,
good.
I'm excited to talk about what's going on this week and the selected movie as well. Should be pretty good.
My teeth are not working today.
What, you mean you can't eat?
My falsies. I can't speak.
That's your tongue, mate. That's your tongue. You need to utilize it a bit more, if you know what I mean.
For the folks at home, it's always coming from like the kind of green, the green room to live on air. It's kind of like decompression. It's in a plane when the window goes out. It's like startled rabbits. So
your ears pop. Well, they should.
Apart from this week my teeth fell out. So yeah. So you good, Matthew? Yes.
As good as I'm ever gonna be right now. So I think we should move on.
Man, shall we get the next guest out then?
Oh, please do.
Okay, she is the princess of Xanadu, but she's the queen of this channel, all the way from the land of Texas Shire. It's the very hoarse sounding. I think she needs to suck on a fisherman's friend, Reni.
Well, hello there. How are you guys?
Well, good. Are you?
Yeah. Other than trying to get over this freaking respiratory infection, I'm good.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, everything this week is finally fallen into place except for my health. So other than that, I'm good.
Well, I say good Stevie Nicks impression though.
I try.
How's your pussy?
She is very quiet today, which is disturbing because I keep getting evil looks. So I don't know what that means. But Yeah.
I know that feeling. So, other than the you're all good, yes.
Yes. So far, so good today.
You know what my next question is, don't you?
Should we bring on the next guest?
Oh, I think we should.
Do it.
We should. Next up, he's the only man in the world who can lose an argument with himself. It's the wonderful Cockney Spock.
I'll tell you what, that fucking idiot me, I'll show him. He knows nothing about Star Wars.
What a twat. You're right, pal.
Yeah, no, I'm half left.
He's here all week.
Brilliant.
He's here all week, boys and girls. How's the asymmetrical warfare going?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. You see, symmetry through asymmetry. The Marines are better, so you've got to balance it with more Taliban. You really got me thinking there, Brown. You're quite right. Symmetry through asymmetry. See, if it was symmetrical, it would be asymmetrical. Wow, mind blown.
Seaman.
What?
What?
Why have you got a picture of a man
Marines.
bashing his head against
Seaman.
a brick wall, by the way? Man bash his head repeatedly against a brick wall in vain attempt to alter timeline. Should we get the next guest?
I think the clue is in the caption, but yes, what's a good instruction? I think we should. So you're good, yes?
Yes, I am very good. Thank you very much indeed.
Top
I hope you are well
man.
too.
Top man. Okay. Let's consult. Here we go. So next up, get your lightsabers at the ready. I really do need to update these descriptions. Next up, get your lightsabers at the ready. A true Star Wars fan in every sense of the word. All the way from Las Vegas, we have the wonderful, not Brian Ridley.
This is not the one about the time-travelling cyborg. Oh, no, it is. Evening all. Evening to Brown, Swappers,
Hello.
Reni, Captain, and of course, the chat. How are we all?
Hey,
All
Brian.
the better for hearing you.
Good, thanks for asking.
Very kind of
And
you to say so, Mr. Brown.
Rene Corbett. Rene Corbett.
French entertainer from the 1980s, 70s.
For the boys and girls at home, I've challenged not Brian to do a full stream in character, and I think he could do it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that as well. I know you can do it,
Well,
Brian.
I think that'd be genuinely a joy. So there you go.
I do a decent depressed
Hello,
Scotsman as my default setting, if you're interested.
Yeah, I do a grumpy Yorkshireman.
Lovely. I hope it's
do a
consensual.
bipolar wanker.
And a wanker.
No? Yes, I do.
I do a good Valley girl.
Rodeo.
That's what she said. Rodeo.
Rennie's doing a good Miley Cyrus at the moment.
Shall we get somebody on who does a good London accent? Who's a good Londoner?
Oh, I think so. Get the next guest out.
Hopefully he'll be around. So here we go. Next, and by no means least, he is the wise elder of the channel, the writer, the portal, the director, and paid up member for the Selfridges Appreciation Society, and writer, producer of his new showreel. Have you seen that? It's amazing. Here he is, the mega geek himself, Ian David Diaz. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm ready to go. I want to talk about Terminator. I'm ready to go.
Always believe in your
Woohoo.
soul. You're indestructible like a Terminator. Always believe in.
So Cockney's back then.
It sounds like
Front.
it. Sounds like
So, are you well, Ian? Yes.
I'm well, yeah. I'm well. Very well.
Did you
Ready.
have fun on the small channel of Nerdrotic?
There was a lot
Coming
of fun.
channel.
It was a lot of fun, as you guys. Oh no, you guys wouldn't know, would you? Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
Ouch,
Oh,
ouch.
Ian.
You know
That
I'm
space kinda
joking.
hurt, friend.
Oh,
No,
You
it's
know
fine.
I'm joking.
You bitch on 10 minutes.
I've heard a little birdie tells me, a little birdie called Nerdrotic himself, tells me directly via the medium of camera, is this thing on, that apparently the question of whether Deckard's a replicant should never be answered. Ha 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 ha, Gary, should never be answered. What do you think we've been doing the last 39 years?
Trying to.
Should never be answered. He's found a way to unite Burnett and Doomcock against him. Should never be answered. Ha ha ha, Gary. Moving on.
Speaking of Gary, Ian, what was the topic of conversation this evening?
Mr. Russell T. Davies, of course. Yeah, so we were talking about him and how he's come back to take over Doctor Who, blah, 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 blah. That's what we were talking about. So there you go.
Blah, blah,
Right,
blah.
moving on then.
What else can you say? Everybody knows the story. Everybody knows he's come back, but whether he's going to cast as the Doctor as another woman or a man or a gay man or
Tenant
you know,
That's
who
the
knows?
thing. And do you feel like he's going to actually stick to what he did in the past, or will he be going with BBC's vision and moving towards a woke future?
We can only speculate on that. And that's what the show was all about, speculating on what he was going to do. So I hope he retcons the retcon and casts the guy. That's what I hope he does. But
Retcon the retcon.
Exactly. Like with Peter Capaldi. And then like have him, like, I was going to say morph, but regenerate into an actual guy instead of a girl.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I trust that to happen. And I think everybody, the thing that just saddens me about this is I think that everybody is putting all their faith and all their eggs in one basket on this and getting all excited about him and thinking that everything's going to get fixed. And I just don't know if I trust it, because I don't know if BBC is going to give him the freedom to do that. So,
but there's a rumor that they wanted Moffat to come back as well. It's between him and Moffat to come back, but they went for Russell, and maybe it's because Russell's gay, because to have another straight white guy come back to helm Doctor Who is not a choice for them, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Good point.
In the chat, Scotty Romeo 37 says, "Good evening, Scotty. You're all sour."
Ad hominem.
Wow, Scotty, why don't you just go eat a bag of dicks?
Scotty is Canada's answer to Lord Charles.
Oh, is he?
Without
I'm jealous of Scotty's toys, though. He's got some fantastic toys. He really
12-inch dildos.
I was trying to think of a comedy.
Gold rimmed.
Direct was the
You see, I didn't say that, Scotty. I did not say that. It was Brown that said it. See,
where did you get those wonderful toys?
Toys, yeah.
Scotty, this lightsaber handle's got 3 functions, and 2 of them.
And now you know why he always shifts on his seat while he's streaming when you can see him on camera. He's always shifting.
He's on vibrate, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dear. Oh dear.
Matthew, any thoughts of Russell T coming back?
Well, off that last comment,
not a lot, really.
Oh dear. When I first heard about it, I couldn't believe it. I just thought it was one of those rumors that's not going to be confirmed, and then it's just proven to be a rumor. It's just like, oh no, it was just someone
announced
by some publication somewhere, just having a speculative, fantasy. But it's true, and I still can't quite believe it, to be honest with you. I was listening in on Spacebook's stream a couple of days ago. He's always great, and I just comment. I came on a bit late, but I just commented straight away because I was kind of fresh to the whole thing, and I did ask, whether it's going to go woke or Russell T Davies is, he's kind of succumbed to that side of the way the industry's gone, and I think it was, I can't remember his name. Is it TJ?
TJ, yeah.
Yeah.
JT. Sorry, JT.
Yeah. It's very good. Yeah. And he kind of affirmed that Bad Wolf, the production company that he heads, are they're inclined to produce something of quality and not just toe the line with what the BBC
like it's
mind, if you know what I mean.
Out of the hands of the BBC now, doesn't it? Because of Ian, did you say licensees are threatening to bail or something.
There's thousands and coming up to millions that's bailed on the license. So and they're really the BBC's in trouble. Well, they never admit it. They won't admit that this version of Doctor Who has failed miserably. They won't admit it in any press thing that you see. It's been a success. They keep saying it, but it's not. The toys are not selling. The show, nobody's watching the show. Well, very little people are watching the show. And as I said, the license fees, people are just not paying it. So, they don't want to admit they're in trouble, but they are.
They don't want to admit defeat or that they were wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Lucasfilm, isn't it? It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. It goes round, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
As a normie, in commas, normie viewer of Doctor Who, who's watched it pretty much from he was a kid. I'm not into it like you guys, like you, Ian and Dan, and this last few years have been just god awful, and I think we've said this many times before. We were kind of open to a woman Doctor, but I think Ian, as you said, somebody said on the Nerdrotic stream tonight, soon as she opened a gob at this convention, that was it, wasn't it?
It was all over.
Yeah.
Definitely. What was so
I
bad
was
about
not
it?
open to a woman doctor. I was not open to that at all. And I was really disappointed to hear that because, before all this woke agenda crap had become official, I'm like, it's kind of weird how everybody's changing into a woman character. All the females are the heroes. And I just got kind of sick of it. And I was like, please don't let this happen to Doctor Who. And next thing you know, it happened to Doctor Who. And the writing was just awful.
It
was awful.
The only way I'd be open to a female doctor is if I was having a prostate exam.
Oh my God, he's on fire tonight, isn't he? Oh.
No guy with like a big sausage finger or anything.
Oh, no.
Well, as long as it's lubed up. Cam in the chats. I'm sorry. BBC is in deep trouble and karma is a wheel.
He's at the wheel. I think he's...
Okay.
Yeah.
Auto spell. Scotty, Lady Doctor would be hot. Well,
Helena Bonham
Carter.
Carter.
That'd be
MC,
a good choice.
Bend over.
That's
only if you say please. Then Citizen 333. I like female lead characters a lot if they are well written. I think the film later we're going to discuss demonstrates that. But there you go. What do I know?
Yeah. But it's obvious that they wanted to destroy Doctor Who because of the 12 white males that came before Jodie. That's why they retconned it. They retconned it to hell and tried to destroy the whole thing and say this is the new Doctor. Accept it. If you don't accept it, bugger off. Unfortunately, people did bugger off and nobody watched it. Apart from the idiots.
Is that specifically Chibnall being a wanker? Sorry,
yes.
Reni.
Well, I feel like it. They did it to prove a point, not to tell a damn story. Because if you guys actually watched it, it was awful. The stories didn't make sense. Even the aliens were stupid. I mean, it's awful. Yeah, the tooth guy. Did you remember the guy made of teeth?
Yeah. And terrible. the frog sitting on a chair. What the hell is that all about? And a little
before that one.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so weird.
It's absolute garbage. Seriously, I say that for the Americans here out there. Garbage. I would say rubbish. But for Reni, I say garbage. It's absolute nonsense. Seriously.
For the French,
shite. Yeah.
Just trash, man. Show's trash.
Yeah. Do you think Davis will be bringing back a male Doctor, won't he?
No, we don't know. You see, this is the thing. Now, because the BBC is in charge, still, together with Bad Wolf, will they follow the agenda which the BBC is strongly for? So will the Doctor be a woman, or will it be a gay man, or will it be just a straight white man? We'll find out.
It be Ray Winston?
Could be.
You know,
could
I would take that over what we got.
I'm the fucking Doctor.
Could Tennant come back?
No, well, I don't think he wants to come back. He's doing very well on his own, in Hollywood and stuff. And same thing with Matt Smith as well. And it'd be a shame if they bring those two back, because really the Doctor needs a good shake up and a new fresh outlook to the show. That's
my logic is though, is there anything in Doctor Who folklore that a previous regeneration on 20 minutes cannot come back as an older version?
Well, there was one which when Tennant met Peter Davison, but that was for children in need, so I don't know whether that's canon or not. But
right.
Well, but in the 50th anniversary special, do you remember the curator of the museum was Tom Baker?
Yeah, but they was unsure whether that he was the Doctor though.
But they kind of hinted at it, so
yeah,
I think it's a possibility.
I just think Tennant coming back for the 60th as an older Doctor could be quite good, but that's just me.
But
the Ronaldo solution.
Yes.
I was having a little bit of a fantasy the other day when I heard about this, and I just thought if they really wanted to bring fans back and kind of reboot it and get it back off to a good start again, they could easily get Tennant, Eccleston, Smith, and Capaldi back for like an extended episode, like a feature-length episode, and then introduce a new Doctor from that point, and just I don't know, just don't have Jodie Whittaker's character in it at all. Just take it.
BBC won't allow it.
No, you're right. They won't. Yeah, but I think your option should be best, Ian, when they should just have a new Doctor, a new male Doctor, and just don't mention Jodie Whittaker's tenure.
That's right.
And just carry on. Just start the episode.
Nothing to move along.
Just have Ray Winston coming out of the shower going, I had a right old fucking weird dream there. I'm fucking Muppet with a flip top head. Oh, well, never mind. Right, come on, Romano. Get in the fucking time. Get along.
That was a heavy session.
The companion could be Victoria Principal.
Brilliant.
Well, not now, when she was young.
That's a thinking man's gag, by the way. Okay, so Russell T. Davis, the future of Doctor Who rests. Well, it's in your hands. Yeah.
Well, there's rumors that he's just there for the face of Doctor Who, so he can bring back the fans. He's going to be there for 1 year, and then he's obviously training up someone to take over him. Blah blah blah. Who knows? It could be that. Because everybody's talking about Doctor Who now because he's involved, and nobody was talking about Doctor Who before. So now everybody's talking about it. So
just that announcement alone has achieved an awful lot, hasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, It's gained interest again.
Yeah,
but
all the channels are talking about it. You're a channel. You're talking about it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, 2 more years. Anyway,
I know of Jodie.
2 more years
gross.
of shite. Okay, so
can't they just do the thing like they did with was it Smith and Capaldi, where they just waited a couple of years to make more episodes and just throw Jodie's in the trash?
Yeah,
I mean,
good one that.
Throw the trash in the trash.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
so shall we move on, boys and girls?
I think we better. Oh,
okay, so,
it's the Joker.
It's the Riddler.
And he's painted his moustache.
Yeah, after last week's show discussing Batman, I just thought, shall we talk about? Well, the feature is called Actors Who Have Played. So
the Joker.
I just thought we'd kind of maybe follow on from Batman last week and do the Joker.
See what you did there?
Yes. It's not. This program isn't thrown together, boys and girls.
It's tossed off.
It is. It's thought about for about 5 minutes, and all the pieces thrown at the wall, and whatever sticks, we do. So okay, so it's Cesar. Is it Romeo?
Cesar Romero.
Caesar.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was the Joker from the 60s wonderful Batman with Adam West. So who would like to start? Was he a good Joker then? So who wants to start? Brian?
He was good in the context of the show that he was in. Obviously a classic actor. And but since the 80s, clearly the character and the context that the character was in has changed quite dramatically. So he was really the first. He was the first one. Yep, first one I can. He may have been the first person to portray the Joker on screen. I would think. Am I right there saying that?
I think you are correct. Yes.
The not shaving the tash off, I kind of like it for some reason. When you think of what Heath Ledger and some of the more method actors have gone in order to portray the Joker in a convincing manner, and then you've got Caesar saying, "Fuck off! There's no way I'm taking this tash off." And also a bit of continuance. He was in Magnum PI in the 80s.
He was.
Before Batman became nasty.
Yeah.
He was in Battlestar Galactica as well, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Was he? Back in the day.
I think he was in a couple of episodes. And probably Buck Rogers as well.
Right. It's obviously our earliest memory of this portrayal, but it's a classic portrayal. And it's the one that's probably been copied the most, and even the musical that was out maybe 20 years ago.
A musical?
It's a Batman musical. And
I did not know.
I think even the great Les Dennis copied his Batman before Nicholson took it in a different trajectory.
It was definitely the first Joker I saw. Cruel says exactly the same thing. And hello, Cruel. And yes, Buck Rogers.
Apparently, Jack Nicholson met Cesar Romero on a beach in Los Angeles back in the day and was asking for some acting advice.
Oh, wow.
He said it's a
cool.
it's a very lonely place to be in if you're not getting the parts.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Reni?
I will say
this Joker?
Not a big fan of his, but that's because I always liked the Penguin when I was a kid. And so I would watch like the reruns as a child. And I really liked the Penguin. I just thought he was really cool with his you know. And I didn't really care for this version of the Joker, but like I didn't find him intimidating personally. And knowing the material like I do, definitely not good, you know, a good portrayal. However, it's the first one that we got, so of course you have to respect it. And I think he did what he thought he should with the character, and I do respect that. And it fits the narrative of the Batman show. It just doesn't fit the general Batman narrative.
Yeah, I think as we said last week, the 60s Batman was... I don't think there was anything sinister about it or dark.
No, not really.
It was just so fun.
Yeah, because, you know, especially with the blam, pow, you know, all that stuff. You know, it was a show that it was more like almost a sitcom than a superhero show.
Yeah, some very, very big actors played the parts as well, considering it was TV.
Actors.
Okay,
Cool.
so actors. Captain, have you seen Batman?
I've heard of this. Of this character, yes, Cesar Romero, quite iconic. Cesar Romero, salad to his friends. Didn't like that nickname. Don't call me salad. Well, fuck off, salad. We'll call you section if you like.
That's a thinking man's gag, everybody.
No, it's fine. What Reni said, very good.
Okay. Who's
I'm
next?
just thinking about him meeting Nicholson on the beach. How do I play this character?
Do you think they were in parts, all dressed
Joker?
up? Yeah. Yeah. Do you think they were all in the attire? You know, being
What
method.
attire? Well, you thought he was a car?
Moving on. Swapshop.
Cesar Romero was my blueprint really for what the Joker should be like. I mean, I was like 3 years old when I first saw him on TV.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to the Joker's character completely, like before the comics, before anything. And for some weird reason, I only knew he refused to shave off his moustache a few years ago when a mate of mine told me. And before that, I thought, no way did he have a moustache. I thought it was like a Mandela effect thing, you know. And then now every single picture I see of him, he's got a bloody moustache. I swear before that he didn't have a moustache. I swear. But you know,
like that chick's braces in Moonraker.
Oh no.
But he looked exactly like the ones in the comics from that era, from the Silver Age DC comics. He looked exactly like them. So for that time, he was absolutely 100% spot on.
Yeah.
And obviously in subsequent years, the characters kind of changed and evolved, and other actors have portrayed him in different ways, and they've done it to kind of mimic that, I suppose. But it was really tough for anyone to beat
on 30 minutes
character for me than Caesar. I just thought, man, he just did it brilliantly. Even though it was all a bit camp and it was all a bit silly and all a bit comedy, he was scary and funny at the same time, and it fitted with the show. So, my hat's off to him. I loved him.
Yeah, agreed. He's a great Joker. MegaGeek?
Yeah, I mean, what everybody else said, really. I mean, I didn't really think about him playing the Joker. When I was a kid, I just accepted him as the Joker and just accepted the tone of the show, and and never thought it was funny. Thought it was serious. It's only when you grow up you realize how funny it is, and and what genius the show was.
Yeah, we said that last week.
Yeah. Obviously, it kind of dwindled as the seasons went on. That's why they brought in Batgirl, because the show was losing ratings, and they brought in Batgirl. It didn't make any difference, and that's why the show failed ultimately. But you're right, the guest stars that was in this. The only, guys, the only villain that I didn't understand that wasn't in the comics was Tut. Was it? Yeah. Where did he come from? He wasn't in the comics or anything. Like King, was it King Tut?
A pyramid.
Yeah,
he was on
I was
the
gonna say.
Man from Atlantis.
Yes, he was. It was really weird. I was like, where did he come from?
Atlantis.
Anyway.
Sorry, Cockney, you were going to say?
I was saying he was running a pyramid scheme.
People
lost money.
They
were
all
in
week,
denial.
by the way, everybody. Okay, so we're all agreed a great Joker.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Okay, so we will move on. 30 years or so. Jack. Mickey, you can start.
I really liked Jack as the Joker, but I wasn't for his origin. I thought when I was originally watching this film, I thought they should never have given us origin. He should have never shot Bruce's family. All that stuff was made up for the film to give it to connect all the dots when they really shouldn't have done that. Really, but I thought Jack Nicholson was wonderful as the Joker. To tell you the truth, I thought he played him just the way I imagined the Joker to be in the comics. But the only thing I had with him is that he wasn't thin enough. And I say that with all due respect to play the Joker, because the Joker's a wiry fella, isn't he, in the comics? Yeah. But Jack is obviously a full man, full rounded man, to put it mildly. Yeah. And but if they'd cast him when he was in, I guess, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, then he would have been perfect. But I still enjoyed his portrayal as the Joker, and I think he was great personally.
Captain?
Yes, I thought quite restrained, quite a measured performance, really, not too over the top. Very good. Yes, quite calm. Wait till they get it lower than me.
Yeah.
Citizen 333, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Moonlight, yeah.
MC, Wingman. Never
move above the range, rhubarb.
It's good advice.
And where is the Batman?
Don't rub the rhubarb, you might get the custard.
Reni?
I actually really liked his portrayal of the Joker. Like Ian said, yeah, he wasn't thin enough. But if you could look past it and look at his performance, it was pretty good. And he was pretty freaking terrifying, even though it was campy and scary at the same time. It's like, oh, I don't want to piss this dude off. So I very much liked it, even though it was a little bit creepy. But that's how the Joker is. And, he's crazy. And I don't know, for that time that it came out, it was the perfect portrayal, in my opinion. But that's for that time.
Yeah.
Swapshop?
Referring to what's in Scotty's drawers.
Wonderful
toy.
Lot of knickers.
So I thought I thought Jack Nicholson was good. I had to adjust from going from Cesar Romero to Jack Nicholson because
there was a bit of adjustment. Yes.
Yeah, he was kind of a bit of a serious dramatic actor. You never really saw him in anything other than kind of serious cop movies and stuff, and as villains and whatever. And as a villain in this, he was a bit outlandish and a lot more theatrical. So it took me some adjusting, but after about sort of 15-20 minutes into the movie, I kind of warmed up to it. He's definitely not my favorite interpretation of the character.
Yeah.
But he brought it's basically just him playing himself like he does in a lot of roles, but a bit more kooky and crazy with Tim Burton's direction. But I think he did a good job, and he was a good Joker for the paid
a shitload of money because he did residuals, didn't he?
He said, he said like so much percentage of the merchandising or something, And on top of that, he got 80 million. That was his fee as well.
Wow.
Yeah, back then that was a ridiculous amount of money,
Not that he needed the money. 333 in the chat. I wish they hadn't killed off the Joker at the end of Batman 89. Otherwise, I loved that film for the most part. And then Romeo 37. My draws are phenomenal.
Where does he get those wonderful?
Shut up, Wesley.
But that was a bad effect when he fell, though, wasn't it? It was like I think it was like a cartoon of him falling. It was really awful.
It was pretty bad.
Substandard effects in that film, but you kind of for its time, I suppose it was all right.
Yeah.
Dalek 451. Question for you, Reni.
Still about the same Dalek, but thank you for asking.
333. And where is the Batman?
He's at home watching his tights. There you go.
Casanova doing his best to kill the stream. Kevin Spacey is the Jack Nicholson of DC villains.
Stream killer.
Time him out. No.
Brian, I've not asked you yet, have I?
No, you haven't. You haven't got around to me yet. Nicholson is my favourite actor by the length and breadth of Sucky Hall Street. I think his 3 Oscars says it all, and I think he was a perfect choice for Burton's movie. His portrayal kind of marks a darker, more sadistic turn for the character, and I think his performance, the movie as well, along with the graphic novels, took it to a new level and opened up new possibilities for other actors to follow in his footsteps. I remember coming back, I would have been 13 or something. I remember coming back from the cinema and being terrified at the cinema every time he appeared on screen. Didn't know what he was going to do next, what horrors he was going to bring forth.
Yeah. And
I think he made a really nice blending of the new sinister tone, but kept that kind of campy element without taking it too far. And I think the Joker's it's the kind of character where an actor would really like to get their teeth into, but it's very, very easy to take it too far and to make it far more campy. And there's a very fine line. I think Nicholson just walked it, as a trendsetter, walked it perfectly. I absolutely love this movie, although it's not the greatest movie. And I love his portrayal in particular. And there's just tonight, so many quotes I think we've already said about it. Yeah.
Well
very
said,
good
Brian.
Batman movie. Very good Batman movie.
Sklavko, the number one of all the channels associated with this stream. I still have magnetic cassette tape with OST from 89 Batman. Prince did it right.
Yeah.
So many great tracks on that soundtrack.
Yeah. I got that soundtrack. Definitely. I do like this film. I think it was the very first time they went out of the way to make Batman look like Batman and the Joker to look like the Joker. Because obviously the 60s version, they just it was an interpretation of what those characters look like. But as I said, if you look at the Joker, you look at that picture of the Joker, it's definitely trying to copy what was in the comic, especially the smile.
Yes.
The smile. And they had that in the comics, he has that wide smile, don't they? And they give a reason why he has that smile because he got shot in the face. But they didn't really need to do that. But hey, what can you? But it does really work very, very well, in my opinion. And the first time I saw a picture of Batman in that costume, I was like, "That's Batman."
Yeah.
Rather than if you look at Adam West, Yeah, if you look at Adam West in that costume, you think it's not quite right. Yeah. Yeah. But there you go.
Well, it's like comparing chalk and cheese. Moving on.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so Batman the Animated Series.
Happy birthday,
Mark Hamill, right?
Hamill.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was 1990s. I knew Mark Hamill did the voice, but I don't think I've ever seen the cartoon.
I was going
Reni?
to go to Gotham City,
Yeah,
pick up some power converters.
I think Mark Hamill's voice portrayal was really good, and in the cartoon, they bring a lot of the creepiness. He's very lanky, has the perfect look in the comics, or to the comics, because it's a cartoon. You know, you can do a lot more with 2D than you can with 3D. But I think he does what he can. And when I found out it was Hamill that did the voice, I was really shocked. And by the way, Kevin Conroy was a decent voice of Batman as well.
My God,
and
yeah.
I've met him. He is really nice. But yeah, I think this is a pretty decent portrayal, especially for the animation. Now, in person, I would not like to see Mark Hamill play the Joker ever. But that's just me.
Swapshop, have you seen the animated series?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It's my favorite interpretation of Batman, I think. I think they just got it so perfectly right with every single episode. There wasn't a single dead episode in there.
Thank God for that.
They got all of the voice actors absolutely spot on. And I didn't even know it was Mark Hamill back then when I first watched it. And then looking back, you can kind of tell. But, you know, he did such an amazing job with that character. It was a joy to watch on screen and to listen to the kind of the mid-Atlantic accent that he had. It wasn't quite British, it wasn't quite American, it was very kind of like vague, but it made him sound very well spoken and very elocuted. But the guy's obviously a psycho criminal at the same time, you know. And he's also the writing for the character was great, because Mark Hamill absolutely just relished the lines he was given, and he was given some absolutely amazing speech all the way through that series. And whenever it was a Joker episode, I was just like, yes.
Was it a good series? Because apparently it aired the early 90s, then it was cancelled, wasn't it? Then it came back later in the 90s, apparently.
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I don't remember.
It was so good, at least to me.
Yeah, there was a difference between when it first aired and then when it did come back. They might have had a break, but the look of it had slightly changed. And the character,
I think there was several years between. I think it came back on Fan Power, literally.
Yeah. It was essentially exactly the same thing, just with a few little tweaks here and there. But from beginning to end, the whole thing, the writing was just amazing, and Hamill did a phenomenal job. I mean, it's difficult for me to say that it's not my favorite Joker, because it's kind of, if I ever want a good example of that character, I always go back to the animated series, and everyone else is kind of a bit of a second place.
Wow.
But yeah, I just love Hamill's kind of the way he delights in enunciating everything he says. Isn't that right, Batsy?
Well, he's very theatrical with it, but that's perfect for the character. So perfect.
So 10 out of 10 for me.
MC, 10 out of 10 for MC as well, by the sounds of it. MC in the chat. I have the box set of the animated series. Great show. Good for me. And then MC says, first season has a load of episodes, but the later ones have less episodes.
You,
Cockney, I'm kind of assuming you've not seen this like me.
Your assumption is correct, but I'd like
Okay.
to swap one review for another, if I may. Because I think not Brian Young mentioned the comic books. There are other media, and indeed Batman started life as a comic book. And for the Joker, I thoroughly recommend Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore.
Oh, but they made that into a cartoon, and it was great.
Where Batman shagged Batgirl.
Yes.
I didn't need that.
Don't understand. Didn't need it.
It's a family show.
That's why it goes at this time.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Brian Bolland is one of the most amazing, rated and underrated artists.
He was amazing in that.
And so just check it. Yeah, Brian Bolland doing Batman. In fact, I think I've got a book here, DC Comics, basically a book of DC Comics art by Brian Bolland, and on the cover is the Joker. He's that iconic. So that I think shout out for the comics fans out there, or anyone even thinking of trying comics. Yeah, Alan Moore, Brian Bolland, Batman, Killing Joke, amazing. And as Grant Morrison points out, even though he had nothing to do with it, there's a twist ending that may or may not be there. So it's got a classic ambiguous ending.
Yes.
It's a great comic. I love the way it feels like a movie. It starts off with the puddles, in the rain in the puddles, and then it ends with the rain in the puddles as well. So it's a really fantastic graphic novel, drawn really well.
Do you think he kills him in the end, Ian?
No, he doesn't. No, Batman doesn't.
Oh, I think he does.
No, I don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
I think
they just
takes
leave
him back
it
to jail.
Right.
So we're gonna have a big discussion. Is Replica? Is Deckard a replica? Is Batman a replicant?
Is Batman a murderer?
Yeah, exactly. Is Batman a murderer? Is he not? I don't think he killed him at all.
No, I don't either.
That is the Killing Joke. That's the title of the whole thing.
Maybe the joke is that you think that he killed him, but he didn't.
Blah blah blah. Whatever, Yoko.
Whatever. That's dicks right here for you.
I don't think that Batman would ever kill the Joker.
No, I don't.
Having said that, in the context of the Killing Joke, I'd say he does.
Think about it.
I'm afraid.
I don't think he does. And as I said, Batman doesn't really stand for murder at all.
Apart from that time he shot someone in the head with a 45 pistol. Let's conveniently forget that little fact there.
What? When was that?
That was Detective Comics issue 37, page 42. I don't know. You got me. Right.
Well, as I said,
wow.
I don't think he has.
Comes up in debate. So Batman doesn't kill. Apart from that time he shot a guy. So
no, I don't think he has. I don't think he's in the film, the latest movie. He stabs people and he's killed a couple of people, and but the fans went up in arms. Were saying Batman doesn't kill, and that was Zach's interpretation of Batman. Do you know what I mean? And it's wrong because if Batman kills, it destroys everything he stands for.
Exactly.
So it makes no sense.
Yeah, like Superman never kills, apart from that time he snapped that guy's neck. But apart from that,
in the film,
he was asking for it. He was asking for it though in his defense.
No,
Brian
doesn't kill people.
Mark Hamill as Joker.
I didn't really watch the cartoon at all, and yet I've seen clips, which isn't the best way you kind of reviewing these kind of things, but I've seen clips and his performance is brilliant. As Reni said, God, never want to see Mark Hamill as a real, you call it, on film Joker. As a voice actor, he's brilliant. I'm going to be biased because I love Mark Hamill anyway, but I'm kind of ashamed to say I didn't see much of the cartoon.
Okay, shall we move on then?
What about me?
Oh, so I haven't asked you. I thought,
no, you haven't asked me. Well, what can I say about Mark Hamill? No, actually, the only thing I can say is that I really liked him as his voiceover as the Joker. Every time I think of the Joker, I think of his voice now. And also remember that when the first season of this Batman series came out, it was criticized for the violence. Because I remember the first time I saw Batman punch someone in a cartoon was in this cartoon. And I was like, bloody hell, Batman's beating the crap out of this guy. And then as season 2 came along, every time he threw a punch, you didn't see it connect. They were very clever about it. So, but the Joker in this, they were skirting the edge because he is quite frightening. And obviously we're thinking about the kid, so he was just enough frightening to be a PG, if you know what I mean. So, but I do like this Joker in this cartoon. I think it works.
Before you move on, Mr. Brown, just remembering that his appearances played by Mark Hamill in the Arkham Asylum games.
Yes, of course.
It's absolutely mind-blowing. It just works so well. Yep.
That's for PlayStation.
Yes, and others.
And available.
And that one.
Oh, just bear with me, Cockney.
Oh, but this isn't the cover of Killing Joke, is it?
No.
All right.
No, that's a Brian Bolland book, isn't it? Generally, he's brilliant. He's a brilliant artist.
I kind of get the feeling that you guys could literally do a stream just talking about comics.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Because I know nothing about the subject.
I think comics of yesteryear has become art
Cheers,
at
Cockney.
the highest level, in my opinion. Because if you look at some of the art in some of these comics of yesteryear, they're absolutely fantastic and beautiful. Especially Kirby's art with the color and the shading.
Agreed.
He has an old style of his own, and you've got Ron Smith, who used to draw Judge Dredd, and his art's fantastic. As I said, I'm quite surprised none of that stuff's been put in museums and held as pure art. Now you'd think that would be it, wouldn't you? But obviously they haven't.
Okay,
so,
we've got some more coming up here.
Look at that, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Although that's very today, isn't it? It's very today. She's kicking his ass.
Yeah, that's typical today comics.
Yeah. Well done, Cockney. Well done. Okay. 451 in the chat. In my opinion, comic book superhero stories work so much better in animation than they ever did in live action.
Well, yeah, because you can do things in 2D that you can't do in 3D. Like the whole V for Vendetta comic.
Yeah.
You couldn't make the mask move in the actual movie, but in the comic book, it kind of moved and changed a little bit. You know. And
in Spider-Man, used to have, when he was puzzled, his eyes used to change shape.
Yeah.
When John Romita, or I can't remember his surname, I can't pronounce his surname, but when he used to draw Spider-Man, when he was confused, his eyes would change shape, and it would do. And so because he hasn't got a nose and a mouth, he'd focus on his eyes to actually show you what he's feeling. So comics are very different.
MC in the chat, Boland's art is fantastic. I have a reissue of Killing Joke with a new color scheme.
It's surprising because it's really it's quite a short story, The Killing Joke, and it has very few pages in the whole of the graphic novel.
But it's really popular.
But it's really good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shall we move on then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Right. Okay. 2008, I do believe. Dark.
You know how I got these scars?
It's about sending a message.
Brian, would you like to start first?
Why not? Why not? Considering Heath Ledger, the late Heath Ledger, sadly, was following Jack, he was very, very brave to take the role on at all. I think he did an absolutely incredible job. From the pencil in the eye scene, I was totally and utterly blown away by his portrayal. And I remember at the time just being delighted there was another 2 hours or so to go in the movie.
Wow.
His character is it reminds me of the kind of shark in Jaws, how he appears to cause chaos and kind of moves the plot along every time he appears. And he's just absolutely thrilling on screen.
I'll agree with that, yes.
They said that his inspiration was Sid Vicious, I believe, but I think there's a Tom Waits interview and his portrayal is almost identical to that Tom Waits interview. I think obviously the circumstances of his death just a few months before, it was absolutely tragic, but I was delighted that he got the Oscar for it because I think it was thoroughly deserved.
Deserved. Such a great film. Such a great performance. If you're going to go out on a high, so no pun intended though. Swapshop.
Yeah, I was really skeptical before I saw this because I saw they were going down the route of him not being turned into this kind of psychotic supervillain from being dunked in chemicals. But he just paints his face white and dyes his hair green, But I thought, well, it's kind of a different take. Fair enough, So I was very skeptical before I watched it. And then when I watched it, I absolutely loved it. I loved his interpretation. I didn't really love the film that much, but just for him alone, I really enjoyed it. And since then, he kind of became my go-to, really, for live action interpretations of the Joker. Because of he really had like a different motivation to everyone else, and he was very kind of dark and sinister, but then suddenly surprised you with really great black humor. And it went so well with the character and with the film, and making the character his own, and also pushing the character forward and doing something new with him. And he looked amazing. The way the makeup smudged and things like that as the film went on sort of made him look even more freakish, which I thought was a great idea. And Ledger didn't really sound or really look like a typical Joker at all, but that didn't matter. It's just how he interpreted that character was just great. Everything came together perfectly. And with Nolan's direction as well, just phenomenal. And when they announced that Walking Phoenix was going to be in the subsequent film, which was like a one-off movie, I was kind of like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to really take this on at all. And when I saw the first images of Joaquin Phoenix's character and stuff, I kind of thought, no, I'm not buying it. It's not as good as Heath Ledger's at all. And again, I was proven wrong. When I saw that, I thought that was good. That's great as well. That was really great. So it just goes to show that an actor can really make something work that wouldn't necessarily happen otherwise. And it was just, I've only seen this film like once or twice, and I really need to watch it again just for him. He was just such a joy to watch, and you could tell he was having the time of his life doing it as well.
I thought he went very method.
He did, but that's method actors love to really go, kind of become the character, don't they? That's where they get their dopamine from, to convincing everyone that they are that character. Yeah.
Reni?
Yeah, this is my all-time favorite incarnation of the Joker, aside from Mark Hamill. I know he's kind of different than the comic book version. Definitely does not look like what you would think the Joker would look like. I know they play off of that with the mask at the beginning of the movie, but for me, this is a more grounded and real life. What if the Joker was actually like real, and how could he pull it off without supernatural methods? So I thought that was pretty cool. They never explain to you why he got his injury, because he told two different stories. So you don't know. So they basically point out, you never know if you can trust what he says, because he's always lying. And so I think he got the whole psychotic vibe from the comics, and the whole keep them guessing kind of thing. And, never let him catch on the game you're playing. And I really love that. He was super intelligent, but he was also super crazy. And I don't know. I really, really liked it. And the boat scene really kept me on edge. And, you just wondered what was going to go on from there.
Moray in that scene.
Yeah, right. And so you just kind of wondered what was going to happen from there. But then nobody did anything. And then he was like, oh, crap, it took his power away. So, you just always expected the unexpected with him. And I love that, because it kept you guessing and it kept you on the edge of your seat. And he made the movie what it was. So, yeah, he's my all-time favorite.
333 in the chat. Just bear with me, just scrolled up just at the wrong time. I didn't like how Ledger was constantly licking his lips.
I agree with that. Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from.
It was unnerving, yes.
It was unnerving, but I think that's why he did it. So you'd be like, stop. Yeah.
Apparently, it actually became because of the makeup. He had to keep it wet, and he ended up incorporating that into the character.
Well, I just thought he was crazy.
It worked so well for me, though. Even though I thought it was creepy and weird, it really worked.
Speaking of crazy, Captain, do you rate this Joker?
I like the double backstory. I like the unreliable narrator, and the performance is apparently quite good. So yeah.
Have you seen the film?
Not really.
I think you should check it out. Dark Knight's fucking fantastic.
I hear it's quite popular.
I think you'll like it. Yeah, it's good.
It's as I said last week, I watched it at the cinema when it was initially released, and I thought, because I think I got hyped, and then I just stumbled across it on ITV4 over Christmas, and I sat down and watched it, and I just thought, this is a fucking masterpiece. So it's a great film, mate. MegaGeek.
Yeah, I like his interpretation of the Joker. I heard that before the movie had started, he spent, I think, a week in a hotel room just on his own.
A few weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, just trying to be method and trying to get into the character of the Joker. And he did piss off a lot of people on set because he wanted to remain the character of the Joker on set. But I think the idea of the licking of the lips thing came from him. He wanted to be like a lizard, like a lizard that was going to eat something all the time. So that was his idea, to lick his lips a lot, because that would unnerve people and stuff like that. He got the voice right. That's why I was really surprised, because when they said he was going to play the Joker, and the only film I saw him in at that time was that teen film that was based on a Shakespeare play. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You.
That's it. That's the only film I saw him in, and I think, they got that guy to play the Joker, and I couldn't imagine it. And then when he opened his mouth and he had that Joker voice, I thought, my God, he's got it right.
Yeah.
And the idea of them trying to put this kind of character into a real life situation, that's, that it really, for me, that really works. As I said, it's a different interpretation of Batman. The director's version of Batman's very different to the ones that we know and the comics. He's taken a bit from the comics, but he's also created new stuff for the film. But the Joker works really well as far as I'm concerned. And I like the idea that they know nothing about him, because there's that scene in it where he's in the police and he's in jail. And they said they took his fingerprints, but they couldn't find out who he was. They tried to trace his clothes, but his clothes were handmade. He's always got lint in his pocket, and that's it. That's all he's got. So he was someone that wasn't even registered in the world. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that was fascinating as well. But I'll stop there.
The bit that made it quite disturbing for me is when he, first of all, he gives his backstory, and then later on he gives a completely different backstory. And that bit, I just went, fuck. Quite unnerving.
Yeah. Very unnerving. I do like where he cuts that guy's mouth. Do you remember? And he says, how I got these scars, and then he puts the knife in the mouth. You don't see it though, obviously, because they'll see it. But it's a really good scene, and he's really very scary in that scene.
Yeah. I like the way they kept him an enigma, didn't they? You never got a backstory, you never got an origin, they kept him a mystery, which is great. Yeah.
And also the things that he does, like he goes, I've got an opening in my gang, and then he breaks the stick and he goes, right, you two fight for it. And he breaks the stick, and those two are just looking at each other. The little things that he does. Things that he does is very insane. But like burning the money, that was insane. He collects all that money and he just burns it.
Because it wasn't about it. It was just about destroying the world.
Yes.
If you look closely in that scene, I love the bit where the little Chinese guy who's sitting on the top, he hits him with the fucking he's on the floor, I think, hits him with a raw thing of money.
They stole the inspiration for the burning of the money from the KLF.
Yeah. Right.
Moving on.
But also remember the scene at the ending where he's talking to Batman, he's hanging upside down. The shot of him upside down is reversed, so it doesn't look like he's hanging upside down when he was talking to Batman. Have you not noticed that shot?
Yes.
It's quite clever. It's quite clever because basically what Nolan was saying is that Joker's world has been turned upside down because he thought that humans are going to be humans and blow each other up in the boat, but it didn't happen. Apparently, there is humanity in humanity.
Yeah.
So that was a really good visual way of showing that the Joker had lost.
It probably
if you know what I mean,
different results nowadays.
Yeah.
But, okay. Yeah. So it is going to rock you. Great Joker, worthy of an Oscar. Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Right, from cheese to chalk.
Yeah. The worst,
Jared Leto.
Joker ever.
Who would like to start? Captain?
Yeah, awful, terrible. Ham hasn't got the range, phoning it in. Oh, I'm doing the method. Have a rat. Oh, well done, Jared. Well done. Go away.
Oh,
awful. 0 out of 10. Hated it. Ruined Blade Runner 2049. Totally the worst thing about it. Absolute scenery chewer. Total ham. Awful.
Scenery chewer.
Don't like his music either. Forget it. Hated it. Thumbs down. Go away, Jared, and your silly little band. Next.
Ouch.
MegaGeek.
This was so bad. They basically, Joker's not about gold. He's not about money. He's not about tattoos. He's not about anything of anything that's materialistic. The Joker's insane. right? And they've turned him into a
In
kingpin.
the membrane.
Who likes making money, who likes being at clubs. Do you know what I mean? So it's completely wrong. The makeup is terrible. His interpretation of the Joker is absolute shit, and I don't want to hear anything about this Joker ever again because I think it's the worst interpretation of the Joker ever.
Done.
But other than that, you thought it was okay.
That is
Oh,
all right.
shit. Anyway.
Who should ask next? Shop Swap.
I've not seen it. I've not seen this guy playing this role.
Good for you.
I looked at the pictures and I just went, nah. And that was it. And from what I gather from other people, I was proved right. So, I was completely put off. And whenever I see any interpretations of this character in pictures, drawings, or photos or anything, I just go, that's not Joker. Move on.
That's
it. That's
MC says in the chat they just made him a street thug. And then 333 says I haven't seen the film because the character design for the Joker is retarded. Tim Possible, hello Tim, he's being naughty in the chat.
Bad Timmy.
Bad little Timmy.
Timmy.
333 Joker with a damaged tattoo on his forehead. What the?
I know. That's what I thought when I saw the film.
So, Reni?
Okay, so I will say this. In Suicide Squad, horrible writing, horrible ideas. Didn't really drive the point home that he was the Joker. Wasn't really necessarily crazy, just evil. However, that being said, one of the last scenes in the Zack Snyder Justice League, he played the Joker that he should have played in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
He was a fool at the end of his rope.
Yeah.
He was dicking with Batman a little bit. And that scene alone showed me he could have played a better Joker.
Indeed.
And he had potential. However, they just didn't utilize that potential. It was, bad writing and bad ideas. I don't blame him for that personally. But he could have done so much better. He was capable of it. He just wasn't given that chance.
That was the snack cider.
Zack Snyder.
Prozac.
Yeah.
Prozac Snyder.
I will agree with that.
Snack
Totally.
cider. That's what it was.
There you go.
Yeah,
Brian?
Yoko is correct.
I might be slightly in the minority when it comes to the Suicide Squad film.
Which one?
I've not seen it. Not interested in the original.
I haven't seen the second one. The
second
first
one
one
is awesome. Sorry.
I didn't mind the first Suicide Squad film. I know it was crap. Without a doubt, it was crap. But it was kind of a... I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a guilty pleasure because that would maybe rate it slightly too highly than I would like. But I think that it's maybe unfair to judge Jared Leto on that performance. I thought the material that he got to work with was absolutely awful. His character is like a cross between, I think, as Ian said, a kingpin and some kind of gangster rapper, which doesn't suit the Joker at all. I think him being chosen for the Joker, he's far too much of a pretty boy for me. He's a good actor. I think material bad. I think he deserved an awful lot better, and he could have done an awful lot better.
I'm not buying the look either. Yeah,
I thought it was awful. I hated the hand smile tattoo that he had.
Bollocks.
Fucking awful.
Yeah.
And the teeth and the gold teeth. What the hell is that all about?
It just doesn't fit. The only thing that I liked really about
the
it
end of
was the reenactment of Alex Ross's Tango with Evil painting. You see just during the kind of little flashbacks and stuff, and that one became the cover for the Harley Quinn #1 comic, and I've got a signed artist proof of that.
Oh wow!
At least he's the right shape, though. I mean, he's quite thin, so at least he's
he had potential, but I just don't think he was particularly right choice.
The thing is, though, you got to ask the question, haven't you, Brian? That these people are around, and he walks out looking like that. How's anyone on set going to go, that's right for the Joker? No one's going to say that's right for those. They're going to just look at it and think, everyone on set's going to go, what the fuck have they done with the Joker?
Cocaine wears off there, not.
Yep.
I think was he cast just after he got the Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club, or was that before?
I don't know. Can't recall.
Yeah, fuck the Oscars. Fuck them right.
He's won an Oscar.
Yeah, he has.
Who knows? It's all the Oscars.
I support an actor.
Crazy world.
Yeah, he was very thin in that film because he was suffering. In the character in the film was a drug addict, and he's incredibly thin, so he lost a lot of weight for that.
Yeah. Paracetamol.
I don't think the Oscars have been credible for a long time.
On 1:10, we will move on.
Fisherman's Friend.
Oh yes. Now he was we're talking about a different world here, a different universe. But I got to say that I really enjoyed this film, and I thought this guy's performance as the Joker was pretty amazing. That's what I thought. Didn't think much of the makeup, but I thought he was absolutely great. That's what I think anyway. Not really the Joker though, let's face it, but he is.
Yeah.
Well, not really the Joker. Are we talking canonical verisimilitude?
Yes, because we're talking about if we're talking about the comics, he's nothing like the comics version of the Joker, but he is another version of the Joker, which is welcomed by me. No, because the film was really good.
For the very first time.
Yeah. The film was really good, and I really enjoyed every moment of that film.
As you pointed out,
could have been
all the talking over each other with Yoko Ono. No,
sorry, go ahead.
I'll go first. Thanks. All the cinema Jokers lack canonical verisimilitude. They indeed basically appear in different universes from each other. And of course, different again from the comic books. And indeed, Killing Joke is in itself a kind of one-off, almost a what-if in its own little non-canonical storyline. But then again, aspects of it, such as isn't it putting the Barbara Gordon into a wheelchair? Wasn't that part of the canonical universe? But so who knows? So yeah, they all lack canonical verisimilitude. They're all a bit different, aren't they? Different Jokers.
Yep, you're totally right.
Wow.
Does happen.
Reni?
Sorry. Although I really thought this was a good movie, I didn't consider him the quote unquote Joker. I just considered him a crazy guy. So it was a good movie about a crazy guy that goes crazy. I thought it was pretty interesting how like the movie really didn't happen. This was all just kind of like a projection or a vision in his mind.
Yes.
So I thought that was kind of cool to see all this happen, and it didn't really happen. It's like, oh God, he is really messed up in the head. And even at the end when he killed that employee of the mental hospital, I'm like, holy cow. But so excellent acting for me. I do not consider him the Joker though.
The film was made for not a lot of money, and it made $1 billion, didn't it?
Yeah, it made a lot of money, and it was R-rated, and no budget. So,
well, two reasons why it made a lot of money. One is because the film was good, and two, because it touched on a subject that the Americans and the rest of the world was interested in, which was depression.
Yeah, mental health.
And mental health. So it touched a lot of people that way because a lot of people suffer from that, and so it touched them. Yeah. So that's why it made so much money. And as I said, if it wasn't for the film being good, it probably wouldn't have made that amount of money. Yeah. So
I agree.
Swappers, have I asked you?
Not yet.
Do you want to
go? Go on then.
Go.
I was really skeptical about this for ages beforehand, and glad to. And as time got close to the film's release, I became more and more excited about it. The more I heard about it, the more I liked, and I really kind of warmed to the idea of it being a total sort of reimagination of the Joker concept. And they were trying to go for a sleazy Scorsese style film from the 80s or whatever. Yeah. I'm all about that. That's different. That's new. That I really I like that gritty idea. So I was genuinely loved it from beginning to end, and I really loved him as the character. Like Reni, I don't consider him to be the actual Joker, if you like. I don't think that's what the film was trying to do. I think it was trying to make you like Blade Runner. It's very ambiguous. You know, you're meant to kind of meet the film halfway and invent your own philosophies and theories. And
yes, like Blade Runner.
Yeah, allows you to do that. It's one of those films that allows you to interpret it in the way that you want to interpret it. It's set in Gotham. You know, there are certain characters and things that are from the comics and stuff, but you have to, like Reni said, you have to remember that this could all be in the guy's mind. He could be just a comic book obsessed kid who grew up as a sort of a mentally deranged guy because of certain events in his life and ended up going off the rails and becoming a psychotic, and then ended up being a radiator somewhere or being in an asylum, and his only out in reality is kind of to invent this life for himself. So that's one way of interpreting it. You could also say that he, you know, it's the origins of the Joker and how he came to be that character. He started off kind of like naive and a bit kind of wimpy, but as he went on, he kind of realized things about himself and what's possible, and his character changed. And then if there was a film to follow it up, you could sort of see him becoming this completely different character because of what happened to him in the first part of the story. So, you know, you could do an awful lot with it. And I love that they took that approach to it. And also you need to watch it multiple times to get many hidden things that are in the film to suggest what's actually going on. Is it real? Is it not? If it is real, then how is it real, etc. There's a lot of little cues and clues and nods and Easter eggs in there if you look closely enough. And you can, I think they purposely did all that and put all that in there so people can speculate over this film for like years and years and years, and they will as well. And I've done it myself, and that's all part of, like Blade Runner again, it's all part of the enjoyment of the movie is making theories, you know. And as far as Phoenix's performance was faultless as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's a damn good actor. Totally not the kind of the crazy violent psychotic Joker that we saw before. He's very kind of a sort of person, and very kind of meek, milquetoast almost. But you could see him changing throughout the film and becoming more hard-nosed and becoming desensitized to things and becoming more psychotic as it went along. And I was like, yes. You know, we're slowly seeing him becoming that character. And I loved, as an origin story, I thought it was a great interpretation of what could be an origin story. And it did an amazing job of making you sympathetic to the character as well, and not just have him as just some villain. You were genuinely sympathetic for it, but you weren't sympathetic for his choices. And the final outcome of the movie, when he's just kind of mentally becomes the Joker, I just thought, and then it finishes, and you just thought, just superb. You know, you couldn't have fit any more into a 2-hour movie and made it any more poignant and great and worthy of the title Joker.
I think he likes it, everybody. So the so for the benefit of Cockney,
I'm about to have a nerdgasm.
No, I was just going to say, is the new burning question of the day is Joaquin Phoenix the Joker?
Wait, I've got to build on an echo.
Go.
Please. My head's about to
explode. Have you seen the film, by the way?
Yes, I saw it with Sarvik.
Whoa! Timestamp 117.
Do you know what happened? I saw it with Sarvik in the cinema. And you know what happened? 2 people were in our seats, and Sarvik was about to remonstrate with them. And I was like, no, Sarvik, we're going to take our own seats. And she was very German about it. These are
Was it empty? Was the cinema empty?
Wherever we sit. And I was like, we're going to sit wherever we want, Sarvik. It's fucking chaos. So before we even sat down, we were living the Joker. I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it, sir, on this occasion. No, exactly, basically what Swapper said. Miracle. And Reni, basically, I've checkmated myself, because the whole question about whether actually it is the Joker, I thought, well, it is the Joker, but clearly just Joker of Universe 57B is just another one.
Joker, yeah.
But already right there, I thought that was their intention, because as you know, I keep going on about it on my channel. I'm not, check out the Captain Cockney Spock channel. I'm not into headcanon. I'm believing what they're telling me. I might not like it, but I have to accept it, because this whole headcanon nonsense, it's suspension of disbelief. I believe in what they're presenting, so I need to know. Aha! And then you might be thinking, what about the old unreliable narrator? Well, I'm glad you asked, Brown. As you know, I love.
What about the unreliable narrator? How do you feel about that?
I'm almost there. I love the trope of the unreliable narrator.
That's what she
and the fact
said.
that it's open, but I hate the trope of the filming of the unreliable narrator. You can't film a lie, you fuckers. This is a movie, not a wank job. You know what I mean? That's me, of course. Other people disagree. I've come to respect that. But for me, that's it. I'm at the cinema. You can't film an unreliable narration. But then you might go, but what about Cockney? What about the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? Is that filming the unreliable narrator? And the answer is we don't know. As Swapper says, it's like Blade Runner. It's open-ended. That means I don't know whether I hate the movie. That is a mindfuck.
On 120, a double mindfuck. Brian?
Yes.
Have I asked you yet? I can't remember.
No, you haven't.
I held off.
Pay attention, number one. Not Brian Young. It's not
great answer, Cockney. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Beforehand, I wasn't in the slightest bit excited about this Joker at all. So by the time it came to going to the cinema, I don't even think I saw the trailer, to be quite honest.
Much like one of these streams.
Yeah. I went in with a kind of bored apathy.
Oh, definitely one of these streams.
Oh.
Afterwards, I cannot think of a film that I've loved more in the last 20, maybe even 30 years, to be perfectly
Definitely
honest.
one of these streams.
Shut up!
Ooh, Nina Williams wins.
Shut up, Wesley!
Shut up, Brown!
I was trying to say something poignant there, but you've completely fucked it up with your incessant rambling, Brown.
Floor is yours.
You fired it as well. Bored at my mind, but I absolutely adored it. I thought it was a character study done right, and it's in complete opposition to some of the latest Disney crap of trying to take a female villain and turn them into sympathetic. I think this one was sympathetic to the character without being forgiving or glorifying. I think Demon touched on that just earlier. Phoenix is an actor that I don't particularly like. I thought his performance in this was nothing short of magnificent, and he thoroughly deserved the Oscar. What I loved about this, which some of you maybe don't, was the ambiguity in it. I felt it kind of echoed the Joker's mindset perfectly, especially when you see the last couple of scenes, and I think there's little details like the clock being the same time, I think, throughout. It makes you think, that did this happen or did it not? Is this all in his mind?
Yes.
Before this,
agreed.
Before I saw this film, I thought the idea of interpretive dance was an absolute load of bollocks. After the scene in the mirror where you see him transforming after his first couple of kills, between a loner that doesn't know where he is to someone who's starting to find his feet in possibly the most horrific way possible, I thought it was so brilliantly done, and I think they did it on the spur of the moment, more or less. I think it was brave to make this film the way, and for reasons that I think Ian touched on earlier on. The cinematography, soundtrack, a wonderful film, and a thoroughly well-deserved Oscar for Phoenix's performance that I didn't really think he had in him.
Hi everyone, and welcome to...
Sorry.
What was that?
Sorry. Yeah, what was that?
I nudged the volume button on my TV.
I will just say the secret of comedy is... Moving on.
Okay,
so Brian, you liked it, yes? I
Immense,
totally agree,
absolutely.
mate. Totally agree. And sorry for fucking with you earlier.
And can I just say hi to Sandra Feliciano?
Yes, hello, Sandra.
Hello, Sandra.
Hello, Sandra.
So there are obviously other Jokers, like in Gotham, the TV series, but I haven't seen that, and various other little things. So I just thought I'd cover the main.
Really opened up can of
It's a bit of a shame you haven't. It's a bit of a shame you haven't seen those ones, because the boy plays basically two versions of the Joker, and they're for my money, it's one of the best portrayals. Two of the best portrayals.
It is very good. Yeah,
Gotham,
it's
the
good.
TV series.
Yeah,
just a kid, and he's absolutely incredible. Yeah,
yeah, it's good.
I think I started watching that on Channel 5 when it was on, and then I just kind of lost interest.
It's not great, but for his performance alone, it's on a few episodes, brilliant.
Okay,
Brown.
so
Brown.
yes.
Did it happen?
That's me.
Did it happen?
I don't know.
Did it happen? I need to know. Did it happen? Was it a dream sequence? I need to fucking know.
I think the only thing that didn't happen was his girlfriend, but I think I like to believe that all the rest of it happened.
The non-binary answer. No.
De Niro getting twatted happened, probably.
Some of it happened. Oh shit.
Some of it didn't.
Bollocks. That's even worse. Back to the drawing board. This diagram's Jessica.
It is a good film.
The big board. Option A, it happened. Option B.
Oh, guys.
Happen. Option 3, now known as the MegaGeek option.
Did you hear about
some of it didn't. Like,
did you hear about
according
Roger
to
Rabbit?
Mum, what non-binary nonsense is this? What's that?
You heard about it? About Jessica Rabbit?
Yeah, we're
What the hell? What the hell's going on? Why would you cover up that cartoon? It's ridiculous. Oh, jeez.
So
what is
stupid.
happening
It's
to
not
the
real
world?
boobs.
Wankers.
Activists are off their head.
Sexual feelings.
Blue hair bad.
Absolutely off their head.
Anti-sex.
We were going to go straight to Terminator, but we've got a bonus feature for 5 minutes.
Jessica Rabbit? Jessica Rabbit. Come on now. So voluptuous. Good looking Superman.
It's his birthday, isn't it?
Today.
Yes,
it is.
The non-fugly Superman.
Born this day, 1952. So we have got 5 minutes. Reni.
Well, you know, this is my favorite Superman. So it broke my heart when Christopher Reeve had his accident. It is what it is. But, you know, he always was an iconic Superman to me. And he did the whole truth, justice, and the American way thing perfectly. He looked the part. I don't know. I just don't think that there's much you could say criticism-wise other than the writing for the latter movies.
Yeah, you do not get any better than this. Brian?
Very briefly, definitive, in my opinion. You're not going to get any better. And the only decent ones we've had, I think, have been ones that have copied it almost verbatim. So, she has the same birthday as Mark Hamill, I think. Mark Hamill, happy birthday to Mark Hamill, 70 years of age today.
To my friend Gary Clark, who I grew up with, happy birthday.
Hello, Gary.
Hello.
Swappers?
Yeah, he's not Christopher Reeve alone, is he? He was just as much Superman, and he'll always be for as long as there is entertainment and humans on this planet. Pretty much.
Hi, Maggie.
Bacon.
Nice words, Eamon.
And I can't really say much else, really, because it's what's already been said about him. There'll never be another him, and he was Superman. Anyone else is just trying to play him.
I agree.
Yeah, he pulled off the red pants just fine. Didn't bother me.
The thing about Chris Reeves is that him and Richard Donner now are both probably having a laugh in heaven.
Yeah.
And those two brought Superman to life perfectly, well, as perfect as they can. But Chris Reeves was born to play this character. I mean, even if he didn't play Superman, you take one look at that guy's face and you're like, that's Superman. Yeah. That's so Superman.
Absolutely.
Doesn't even need to be in a film, does he? Just look at him.
He brought it. As I say, the first Superman was the best one. The second one was okay. The rest are just terrible. But as I said, Donna and Chris brought that film to life, the first movie to life, and I thank them for that, to tell you the truth. And I hope they're having a laugh now, both of them. Yeah.
Have you seen the Donna cut of number 2 yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
It's pretty good. I think you should.
Large Donna.
I will when I get some time. I've still got to watch the other seasons of Banshee, by the way.
General Zod with an M16 is a viewing pleasure.
Okay.
Cockney, last word.
George Reeves, Christopher Reeve.
Very good.
Is that your last word, Cockney?
333 says the same. I will just say an amazing Superman, and
He was.
I think just a genuine tragedy.
Yeah.
It is such a shame.
Happy birthday, Christopher.
Happy birthday
to you.
Dream killer.
Okay, so shall we move on to the feature of the evening?
Do it.
I'll be back.
Right, I'm just trying to get it on.
Are you yellow?
30.
Yellow.
Last word to 333. Superman 4 is mostly considered to be the worst Superman. But to be honest, stream killer. And it's not a stream without Matt G. Bacon on 130. That's perfect filling. Okay, so
agree with bacon.
Yeah.
Go to cut loose.
On feature on 130. Hopefully, I've got my pictures correctly.
Oh, nicely done on 130. Terminator. I'll be back.
Yeah, Matt G and his bacon helped us out there.
On the Polish poster, Electro Killer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
there are a lot of pictures, so we're going to have to pile through these, boys and girls. Somebody dropped off.
Reni, I think. Reni's thing keeps cutting out, so she'll be back.
We can party again.
Brian, could you just keep an eye on that, please?
Sure,
no worries. The reading stuff and my computer's shit. Okay, so I will do blurb. Terminator, 1984, USA. A human soldier is sent from 2029 to 1984 to stop an almost indestructible cyborg killing machine sent from the same year, which has been programmed to execute a young woman whose unborn son is the key to humanity's future salvation. Yes.
Yeah.
She's very excited. Yes.
She's back.
Yeah.
She's back.
Internet probs.
Directed by James Cameron, written by James Cameron, Gail Ann Hurd, who I think was his missus at the time. William Wisher contributed a little bit towards it as well. Produced by John Daly. He was an exec. Derek Gibson, exec. Gail Ann Hurd, exec again. Music, Brad. Is it Fiedel?
Story totally not lifted by
Fiedel.
a short story with subsequent lawsuit and credit to the author given posthumously.
Yeah, there is a still for that. Yes, well done, Cockney. Special Terminator effects, Stan Winston.
The king.
I think he deserved a bit of a mention. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Michael Bean.
I think he says it Bane.
Starring Mr. Bean. Budget $6,400,000. Gross worldwide $78,371,000. So not too shabby.
Yeah.
Very good.
Who would like to start? Reni.
All right. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I really didn't know what to expect of this movie because it came out when I was a kid, but I really liked the idea of I thought it was a very interesting concept. The world is taken over by our artificial intelligence. And then the computers got smart and thought, you know what? We don't need humans to survive. Let's wipe them out. So what would you do in that case? How would you save the human race? So I thought it was a very interesting concept. I thought it was really cool to see, how we would handle it as humans, or, how would you react if somebody told you I'm from the future? Yeah, right. I don't believe you. How would you convince them?
That's MC.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know, just a lot of interesting concepts, great effects for the time. I found the Terminator pretty terrifying out of his human skin. But just the thought of being chased by someone and there's no one that can stop the person that's chasing you, that's pretty scary. So I think they did a great job. I find it to be more of a thriller than a sci-fi movie, but that's just me. But yeah, really love this movie.
Not Brian.
It wasn't a favourite of mine as a kid, but as an adult, I really, really appreciate it. On the rewatch this week, I really enjoyed it again still, and I realised just how well the film was written.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm particularly impressed with the soundtrack other than the main theme. For the time, it's got very decent special effects, and I think the performances all around are good, but an exceptional performance, I think, by Michael Biehn, who deserves enormous credit, and I think he really sells this film. He's the one that makes this entire film work.
Believable,
for my money. The last scenes, even watching it this week, after all this time, it still had me pulling my legs up towards the couch because you could feel the robot still trying to grab onto you somehow. I think it's got a nice twist to it, and just to light the touch paper here, I think the film is a brilliant example, possibly even the premier example of a closed loop timeline.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, he's just shot his load.
Now we'll never get him to
Fucking
shut
hell,
up.
on 135, Cockney shot his load, everybody.
He shot
Moving
his load
on.
is shot.
Swapshop.
I was just going to say, when Brian was talking just then, I was just going to interrupt and say Michael Biehn had to sell it he had to sell the future war and the destruction of mankind to the characters, didn't he? So if he can't sell it to the characters, he can't sell it to us. So, you know, everyone's got to try and buy this incredible, ridiculous scenario that you're coming back from a destroyed future and back to the 1980s to try and tell people, you know, literally a million miles away, mentally and culturally, and also God knows how many, you know, years in time, and light years in time, or whatever it is, you know, from when the planets are apart. Cockney will know that.
Perfect.
But you know, it's this guy's got to convince everybody in modern day sane 1980s America that, you know, this horrible future has just happened and there's a killer robot out to kill everybody, you know, and he's going to track this woman down and kill everyone on his way to reach her. And yeah, Michael Biehn's job in that movie was mind-blowingly good. You really do believe him completely all the way through the film. Linda Hamilton, not so believable, I guess, although she was good.
First role, she did pretty good.
Yeah, I think there were a few bits in it where I kind of thought, I don't know, a bit Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, but you know, at the end of the movie, can't really fault it, to be honest with you. It's like Brian said again, you know, Michael Biehn, wow, it just blew me away. Immediately became one of my favorite actors at that point, if not my favorite actor. And
great in Aliens as well.
He's just great in pretty much everything I've seen him in. Everything. Just like Bill Paxton as well, who I loved as the punk at the start of the movie. When the Terminator walks up to him and he goes, "Hey, this guy's 2 cans short of a 6-pack," you know, like. I loved even a tiny little role like that. Paxton was great in. I mean,
he had a blacked out front tooth as well, which I noticed.
Yeah. That's almost like sort of a caricature of him, isn't it? But the sequel to it, you could say, is like improves on it in so many ways. But this one's got blazed the trail and laid down the blueprint for the whole scenario, for the concept of Terminator. And it was so original. No one had done anything like it before. It was breakthrough performances for so many people, and just one of Cameron's best works when he was really hungry and passionate about stuff and really wanted to make something that really made a difference and a dent in the box office. It so did it with this film. And I'm just looking at this movie poster here as well. And the poster's like not the most amazing thing in the world because it's just a photo of Schwarzenegger, really, with some lighting, you know. But I love the way, and this must be natural, but it's just so good. I love the way his hairline looks like it's like doll hair. So it's artificial, you know. promotes
That's
the fact that he's
post burning.
Yeah. So I've always thought that whenever I've seen the poster, it's just like he looks like a mannequin right there. He looks, kind of like a animatronic, but which kind of all helps it, doesn't it? Really. But I can't think of anything bad to say about this movie at all, other than the effects were of their time. I suppose the Terminator, when it's moving is stop motion, which kind of looks a little janky compared to the rest of the movie, especially when you compare it to the really smooth motion of the Terminators in the second film. But you can't really mark it down for that. It's just as originally it was supposed to be a one and done movie, a one-off, because like Brian said, closed loop. There's nothing more to do with that story, really. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. So, you can't really. I mean, it could have finished there and it would have been perfect. But then they made a sequel, and it was, even though it didn't need it, it was still as perfect. So yeah, that's my experience with it.
MegaGeek?
Yeah. I liked it when I first saw it. A lot of people forget that it's a horror sci-fi. That's basically what it is. Because it's got a lot of horrific moments in it where he's fixing his eye and he's cutting his hand and all that stuff. And then you've got the horror bits where he's shooting the women in the back and stuff like that. So it was in those days it was considered horror, I guess. And I agree with whoever said the music was crap, because it is a bit crap in this. It's off its time.
Theme's amazing though.
Yeah, little known fact here is that when James Cameron when he got kicked off Flying Piranhas, he used his last bit of money to fly back to LA, and he was so hungry he didn't have any money that he fell asleep and he had a nightmare about the exoskeleton that's in this film, and then that's how we thought of the exoskeleton for this film, and the whole thing started from there, that he was thinking of a story to include the exoskeleton and stuff like that. So that's how it worked. That's how that worked apparently, because of Flying Piranhas 2. He got fired off that, but I mean, it's a really good film, and it's old school. The bit where Arnold Schwarzenegger puts his hand through that window. That's a real window. That's not a fake window. Yeah. He literally puts his hand through that window. You can tell that glass is real when he puts it through. You can tell it's real. It doesn't look like fake glass at all. And he actually sits on it as well.
The one that is on the windscreen.
Yeah, when he steals the car, the Vox. No, it's not Volkswagen. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he puts his wagon. Yeah, station wagon. He puts his hand through that. That's a real glass. And there's a bit in it where he jumps on the car, and when they saw the footage, they forgot that they needed another shot. So what they did is the bit was on top of the car, and he puts his hand through the window when he's chasing them both. Well, that looks like the car was moving, but it wasn't. It was the background, was the brick wall that was moving. They moved the brick wall. Instead of the background, which is really clever, because James Cameron's a pretty clever chap. But I mean,
King of the world.
Well, I adore this film. This film is, it's an amazing film, and it's very simple, and it's it's very, very well made. And yes, the animation's bad at the ending, but it was this special effects of the time, wasn't it?
Well, remember,
still
it was
scary.
made on no money.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing that makes me laugh, because I watched both versions for this stream. So I watched the original version, then I watched the director's cut. And the director's cut, they change all the sound effects, because the gun, when he shoots the girl, the first Sarah Connor, that sound effect is from, I think, Dirty Harry movies. The sound effect that Dirty Harry has with his gun. It's that. And then when you see the director's cut, the sound is all changed. It doesn't sound anything like it. Plus, I'm going to sign off here. Plus, I really find it funny that he steals the trousers from a tramp on the ground, and he keeps those trousers all the way through. Yeah, those trousers must have stunk to high heaven.
Yes,
they must have done, right? They must have done.
Meganator.
Yeah.
Other than the trousers, good film.
It's a good film. Yeah. Dick Miller's in it as well. That's cool. Yeah, he's only a little bit in it, but he gets shot. But there you go. Yeah, it's a good film. I recommend it.
So here we go, Captain. Over to you.
There's only one thing that matters in the movie that's got time travel, and that's temporal verisimilitude. And this movie's got it, folks. I've got nothing to say. Perfect. As not Brian Young says, closed loop, built-in paradox. I can't prevent the future. Oh no, I've created the future. Never mind, you already always have. Closed loop, perfect. 10 out of 10. Nothing else matters. The time travel makes sense, even though it's a built-in wacky science fiction concept. But yeah, good writing, got good direction, shit music, good acting. The role that Arnie was born to play, brilliant. They should have left it at one and done.
While I was watching the film today, the time travel bit kind of popped in my head, and I was trying to work out what was going on.
Closed loop, 12 monkeys, perfect.
And I tried to write it down in a sentence, and it's quite it's difficult.
Here, is there? There's one timeline. There's one universe, Brown. Universe B. That's the only one there is.
This is my best attempt at writing what was going on from the perspective of Sarah Connor. How can Reese come from the future when she hasn't met him, or John Connor be conceived until he comes from the future?
Right. Well, so what you got there, Brown? You see, you got your classic closed loop.
Isn't it a paradox?
Yeah, because he's always come from the future.
Or, I was going to say it was always meant to happen that he comes from the future to visit the past.
Yeah.
So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, kind of like what Matt said. So that's kind of how I always viewed the story.
But how could she have given birth?
Yes.
To somebody who has come from the future?
Well, it's easy, isn't it? Well, because
if he comes back to the past,
when a man loves a lady very much, Brown, right? Right, and he puts they play the innie outie game.
It is a bit of a head
and then
fuck.
9 months later, you get a baby. I mean,
I'm not explaining myself right. I'm not explaining myself correctly.
It's a closed paradox.
I hear what Brown's saying. Basically, you're saying that how can John Connor exist in the future if she's not had the baby in the first place? There must have been another.
She's always had the baby. She's never not had the baby.
No,
that's
but
why it makes sense.
what Brown is saying is,
isn't it?
What Brown is saying is that how could John Connor exist?
Yeah,
originally in the future.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know.
The answer is it's a closed loop. He's always existed because she's always been pregnant to give birth to him. That is the beauty of the closed loop. There's no paradox, or rather, the paradox is the truth standing on its head to get your attention. I mean, obviously, it's it's not even theoretical.
But she only became pregnant with.
I was trying not to get into the time travel. You're getting into it. The beauty of it makes sense. Unlike Back to the Future, because I want to balance out. Yeah, complaining about Back to the Future. There's nothing to complain about. It makes perfect sense. There's no paradox. She got pregnant by the guy that got sent from the future in the universe that she created. There's no paradox. That's the beauty of the closed loop.
But that's only because he came back from the future.
Yes. From the future,
chicken and the egg situation. Isn't it?
It's chicken and egg. That's my point. Chicken and egg.
But, and chickens and eggs exist too. It sounds wacky. It's a closed loop.
Time travel.
No, you're right. And what your home next week? 12 Monkeys, same thing.
Do you know what? Right,
it's perfect.
Let's just move off this. I like to mention the special effects is pretty clever in this film. That James Cameron. Yeah. James Cameron has literally crafted really good visual effects, and he used back projection. He used false perspective. Yes. He used, you know what I mean? He really did think about every shot in this film. It's really a masterclass of how to do something with very little money.
Yeah, for $6 million, he did pretty well. Yeah. So, shall we go through the stills? And there are a lot of them. So we'll pile through them. Yes.
Come on.
As I was saying to Brian earlier, these shows take longer and longer to put together. Okay, so.
Orion, they still around?
For a certain generation, this means a lot.
Yeah.
It does. Yes, it does.
Because didn't they kind of divvy up some of the money for the film?
Was that? What's the question?
Didn't they give some money towards the film? because they believed in Cameron. Orion.
Oh yeah. They did.
They were the only pictures who were willing to give him a go, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, I would say for people of our generation, that logo means quite a lot, actually. So okay. So as I said, lots of pictures we will go through as quickly as possible.
Did you know that Deborah Winger successfully auditioned and won the role of Sarah Connor? I'm reading this, obviously.
I heard something like that. I thought it was a crock of crap, but I guess it's true.
According to this, however, she later changed her
She was
mind
in Dallas
and turned the role down. Deborah Winger.
Wow.
Did Linda Hamilton got the role because she was James Cameron's wife, right? I thought
No.
In waiting. In waiting.
Basically, James Cameron was married to the producer, and then
Amherst.
because he met,
Let's get it on.
he got it on with her, and then when he was doing Titanic, he got it on with is it Susie Ames? Susie Ames, and now he's married
Cock
to Susie
has no
Ames.
conscience, boys and girls.
That's right, absolutely. So there you go.
Mr. Spielberg, cappuccino for Mr. Lucas. George.
Yeah.
Hey, sign over the company. Yes, Kathleen. Yes.
Stay on target.
So we're setting the scene.
Very good.
LA
Flows on the
20.
surface. Negative. It didn't go in. Oh, George.
Oh dear.
Los Angeles 2029, and we're not talking about 29 minutes past 8.
Oh, George.
Yeah.
Machines rose from the ashes of the nuclear fire. Their war to exterminate mankind had raged for decades, but the final battle would not be fought in the future.
Battle wank.
It will be fought here on this stream tonight.
I love the font that they used. Very, very old-fashioned, isn't it?
That's what it looked like on the computers we
Raggedy,
used to use in the 80s.
That's right.
Yes, range left type setting. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look, stop returns all over the place. I mean, I like the no hyphenation, but you're right. Look at that. Terrible. Not even near justified. Terrible. Hair turning, non-existent. Cracking, no. Leading, pedestrian at best.
So we get some really nice opening titles.
Ding.
And
animation, isn't it?
And the Terminator theme, which is fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
So he came back from the past, yes, and they did it, and she had a baby, yes, and then he became me with the dad, yes.
And then Los Angeles 1984.
That great font. What's the black guy saying in the car again?
He just keeps going, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It's just the same. It's just the same. What's going on?
And also, it's 1:52 a.m. in the morning. No truck worker works at that time in the morning. You get screamed
in
at.
Los Angeles, they do.
Do they? I don't know about Los Angeles, but
can I just say, I would have loved it if that tramp was the same one that's on the park bench in Back to the Future.
Oh my god!
Different color, pal.
Funny.
Different color.
Ooh.
Transdimensional.
And a year earlier.
See, they had to do all this hand painted animation. The lightning.
So Arnie comes through the big portal.
He does.
Or was it porthole?
Yeah.
Lots of hand drawn lightning, which does look good.
Yeah, it does.
It looks
very
good.
frightening.
I like it.
Oh, nice.
And then Arnie.
Naked Arnold.
Also, when you come up to that bit, I'll tell you. So, but Arnie looks pretty mean here, doesn't
pretty
he?
Pretty freaking cut. Just
you won't get many of those to the pound.
And then they got the Close Encounters spaceship in the background.
Yeah, but upside down.
Oh, yeah,
Nice
sorry,
butt
upside
shot.
down.
Yeah.
Hey, Arnie,
Arnold looks amazing.
Yeah.
So before this scene here, Arnold's walking towards them, and in the HD version, you can see his willy.
Yes, you can.
Like what?
What?
Yep.
In the high definition version, you can see his willy.
Yep.
Hey, my turn.
Facts.
See his willy.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
Crazy.
It's like, oh, hello.
Nice night for a walk.
Well, nice night for walk. Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right? Nothing clean, right?
Your claws.
Just look at these shoulder developments and the triceps.
He kills them all, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then conveniently, the guy who's wearing the iconic jacket is wearing a jacket that's obviously too big for him.
Yeah, 15 sizes is too big for him. That fucking 10, conveniently Arnie size.
Very convenient.
It's a good scene.
And then lots of lightning again because Kyle's coming through the portal.
Yeah, but he's definitely when he arrives, he's definitely in pain, isn't he? He's definitely in pain, unlike the Terminator, who's not, obviously.
Yeah, when he's going,
and he's got steam coming out of him and everything.
Yeah, it's like me when I wake up on a dinner time.
He's not prepared, is he? Because he falls like about several feet.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. But I tell you one thing though, that was a great stunt there, right there. Mm-hmm. That's concrete, mate. The guy, whoever the stunt guy was,
is
amazing. No, it is. It is.
Oh,
I saw the making of. Yeah, that was a stunt guy, and he fell. Yeah, he fell, and
hard bastard.
Yeah, very hard. There you go.
And what about the stuntman? So obviously the police arrive with all the blue lightning.
He steals the tramp's trousers that probably got a lot of piss on it and shit and stuff.
Piss and corn, you name it, he's got it.
No CGI, they actually literally travelled in time for real.
No CGI.
I like the bit where he pushes the policeman and he goes, "What day is it? What year?"
Well,
overacting.
I was going to not show that.
Oh, you're not?
But I thought I better not because I'll get caught out. I'm glad I didn't. And then,
there it is.
Yeah. So he steals his gun after a bit of a chase. There you go, just for you, Ian.
What? Yeah. Good stuff.
What?
Yeah.
And obviously being inclusive as well.
Yeah.
Good inclusiveness.
It's a good scene.
Then he runs into the shop, the store, the clothes shop, or the thrifty, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And he gets his night trainers.
Nice.
Right,
yeah, I was just thinking that product placement
at the same time as well, shouldn't he?
Yeah. It was, I used to have a pair of them.
He decided he wanted the grey coat.
Mm.
You can see his hand nicking the iconic coat.
Yeah. No cameras in that store, is there? None.
No, 1984, mate.
Yeah.
So he manages to get out of the store with all the coppers after him, all the rozzers, and then steals the pump gun from the cop's car. And the said thing to do in 1984, look at the phone book.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because
I remember those days.
Yeah, no data protection. Yeah, no data protection act in those days. You had your name and address.
Yeah.
And your phone number.
Mm.
When people weren't shady like they are today.
How times have changed.
It's true. The people weren't crazy like they are today.
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Ann.
It is clever though, isn't it? The plot.
It is. Yeah, it's copied from a Twilight Zone episode apparently.
What with the kind of okay.
So they say. I don't know if it's
still
true.
Good though. Still good.
Yeah, there was because they had to credit the author. If you basically watch the Blu-ray, the new editions, they got the name. Yeah, based on an idea stolen from.
Cam in the chat, and this does work on very many levels. Cam says 1984. What a different time.
It was
indeed, and I think we're living in 1984 now.
Not the good one.
Anti-sex league.
So we have Sarah Connor, the kind of she's a waitress, not at a cocktail bar.
She was pretty hot when she was young.
Very much. Yeah.
She was hot. Weird hairstyle though, but
very 80s. Yeah.
There's Dick Miller.
Who
Dick
he
Miller.
died? Did he die?
He died recently. Yeah, he died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Dick Miller, if you didn't know, he's famous for being in a lot of films, a lot of classic films. He was in Gremlins. He was in Toy Soldiers. He's been in a lot of movies. So yeah,
obviously a favourite.
Well, directors like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in the gun shop.
Of the plasma 1-2. What does he say? I can't remember.
Plasma rifle in the 40-watt range.
Yeah.
Only way you see, pal.
Yeah, that was it. So funny. Wrong.
So what will it be, buddy? All of them. I think they'll close early.
You can't do that. Wrong. It's really funny because they have those
good acting.
They have those shots, don't they, of that time where they just hold on the gun with the smoke. They hold on the gun with the smoke coming out of it for a couple of seconds. They used to do that a lot in films in those days, but they've stopped doing that now. Yeah.
Cam says in the chats, character actor with a huge resume.
Absolutely. He's a good actor as well.
Yeah.
He used to be really, he used to do a lot of movies in the 40s.
Yeah.
So, he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Knows his craft.
And then obviously he gets blown away. And then Terminator does what Terminators do because there's no records.
But he pulls that big guy out of the phone, doesn't he? The guy with the beard.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah.
So go to the phone book. In fact, I've just seen this. Bishop Moore. Kids, a phone book was like the internet. You could look up people's names and telephone numbers.
Could indeed. You had to remember people's telephone numbers in those days.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, for our younger viewers, on the behalf of Bishop Moore, for our younger viewers, Google the phone book. Hello, Tyrone.
Hi.
Good day.
You sexy bastards. Must be talking
That's
about
us.
He's obviously talking about Cockney.
Yeah, that's what you said.
We all went
Sexy.
So, too sexy
you are,
for
mate.
my sphere.
Sarah Connor.
It hurts. Yeah, so first Sarah Connor on the phone book.
Yes.
She got that awful haircut. And,
she does.
All bad.
No wonder why he shot her.
Douche.
Sarah Connor.
And he does it. He shoots her, and then he carries on shooting her when she's dead on the ground, doesn't he? He gives her 2 plugs.
Yeah, I'd noticed the I think the sound effects had changed for the gun.
Right here.
Very futuristic gun sounding.
It was the very same sound effects.
Rather than shot.
Yeah. Very same sound effects they use in the Dirty Harry movies for Callahan's gun. So, but they took it out and put some other one on. It's crazy.
The Edge is in, ladies and gentlemen. Hail wankers. Hail.
Rude.
But true.
That's quite horrifying, that scene though. Let's face it.
Oh, it's brutal. There's no fucking about with that, is there?
Absolutely.
So the news is on TV. I think, was it Ginger said this is going down on TV?
You're dead, Sarah. You're dead.
I was going to delete. Yes. I knew you'd say that, so I kept this one. You're dead, honey.
Yeah. I tell you, she was hot in those days, man. She was so hot. Jeez.
But that haircut, man, it's awful.
Yeah, apart from the haircut, of course. Interesting face.
Oh, no. That mullet.
you would hit it? You saying, Matt?
You can tie a mullet back, can't you?
Every hole, mate. So Kyle is in the stolen car by the
he has the dream, doesn't he?
Building site.
Mm.
And he's just kind of nodding off a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he has the dream here.
Yeah, the big cranes. I thought this shot was quite good. How it was doing the side shot of the vehicle moving, and then it zoomed into the skulls and tank tracks.
Yeah,
which was a nice shot.
Nice way.
Yeah, it's false perspective stuff. That's what it is, and it's very clever as well because he used multiple effects of those days. He used back projection, he used false perspective shot, and he used obviously props and got the guys to run in front of the screen. Yeah, it's very, very. I mean, but then again, James Cameron was a visual effects guy before he became a director. So
it was, as I said, it was a nice sequence how the modern day crane was moving.
Yes,
nice.
And then you zoom into the wheels or the tank tracks, and it's
a visual segue, a parallel, visual pun, if you will. Nice.
So lots of the back projection stuff with the kind of future war stuff going.
Yeah.
Well, and I just want to say it was pretty disturbing when you realize that tank is rolling over human skulls.
Yeah.
And you realize that the future is really desolate. Yeah. And that Kyle's journey or his
suck it up
going out.
Him traveling to the past is pertinent in making the future better, or
people surviving. This scene,
not changing it because it's already fixed in stone, because you're already living in the universe that is indeed a realization of the seeds planted in the travel back in time that's always already happened, just like in 12 Monkeys, thereby making perfect sense because there is no universe B, unlike Back to the Future.
This scene always makes me laugh because that little kid gets blown to bits, doesn't he? The kid that was helping him.
Yeah, I think
Remember that scene? It's like
I'm going to make a point of that, so I thank you. I'm going to make a point about that.
All right, okay.
So they're going, they're on a mission to take out the big hunter-killer tank things, aren't they? And Kyle throws this grenade. He's been assisted by this female soldier.
Nice.
So he throws that at the under the tracks. There's the female soldier.
Ding dong.
And then the next thing is boom. She's
blown to bits. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Adrian!
That was storytelling 1984, wasn't it?
She would never have got blown up. They'll have to go back and retcon that and digitally make her jump out the way of the explosion. She's still all right.
If this was made today, that would have been Kyle. Kyle would have gone.
Exactly.
No, it wouldn't have been Kyle. It would be another guy.
He blew her up. It was his fault. His mistake.
No, the woman would have become the main hero now. And they should have come back in time to having a lesbian affair with Sarah Connor, and then
put it past them, mate.
And then gone to a sperm donor bank to have John Connor's child. That would have been the 2021 version, and I've just made all that totally up. But it sounds appropriate.
And then the Terminator goes, we learned imperialism from the white males.
Here's a bunch of flowers. Congratulations.
Fuck your freedoms.
Was the Terminator Welsh, was he?
He is now.
Tom Jones.
David Schwarzenegger.
The first Terminator, Jones the Steam.
He's the only
He's
the only Terminator in the village.
I was travelling back in time with the Terminator. He said, "Don't touch anything." I said, "It's a closed loop."
Oh no!
Fine.
Don't tread on that butterfly.
We spent the entire night catching butterflies, knowing we're in a safely ensconced in a closed. Nothing we.
I like this scene. This is a good scene.
It was a closed loop.
It is. So he's in a vehicle and it gets hit or something and it starts going up in flames, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Next thing, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, he wakes up in the tramp smelly trousers and he wakes up,
Yeah.
And he thinks, oh, should I take these trousers off? They stink.
And then it's back to the...
Good thing about it, though, Ian, is he can piss himself and no one will notice.
Exactly.
Or shit himself.
Okay, Matt.
So the back at Sarah Connor's flat with Ginger, nice product placement on the...
Oh,
see, Again, I'm going to make a point here.
Are you bleeding heavily? Do you need
James
tampons now?
Bond has been on about this week.
Tampon thing.
And you know what, right? Listen, guys, Terminator did it in 1984. And
Sarah Connor.
it was so fucking subtle, nobody even saw it.
Sarah Connor is
Until
so
today.
tough, she started bleeding before the Terminator even showed up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know,
Lord.
the Wokies will see that and they'll use it to gaslight everyone if that was to happen in the Bond film.
Yeah.
See, there's always been references to strong women with tampons everywhere in product placement, and I don't see what the problem is. It's always been there. Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Do you bleed heavily when you're chased by a Terminator?
Oh, this guy.
Slider.
Yeah.
Slider, you stink. Rick Rossovich, I think.
He got battered by him, didn't he? Literally
Yeah.
battered by the Terminator.
So he's talking dirty to who he thought was
Oh, yeah, of
Ginger.
course. Yeah. And that was just shot in the other room in the same apartment.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then we go to the cop shop and Lance Erickson.
Do you
is a
know
great
what?
actor.
Guys, this scene is really I wouldn't say well directed, really well performed. Look at the detail they go through with these two characters. This guy smokes a lot, and they're both
Two at once.
Yeah, and there's that scene in it where he says, "Give me a cigarette," and he
Yeah.
lights one, and he already has one in his hand.
Captain Terrell.
That is
yes.
commitment to the cause, that is.
It is really good. You got the feeling that both of those actors thought of all that stuff so that they can make those scenes more enjoyable for themselves when you watch it.
Do you think Captain
Yeah.
Terrell is from the future on this?
He probably is. He's got a worm in his ear, mate, and he's he's been controlled.
Well, he's talking to an android for a start, isn't he?
Absolutely. So there you
yes,
go.
exactly. Bishop's a replicant.
So when he shot himself, he didn't actually die. He kind of transported back. To
That's
make-
right. Yeah. But I mean, these two play it beautifully, though. They act
well,
like
right.
they've known each other for years,
Yeah.
and there's a really good performance by these two actors. Really good.
They sell it.
In the chat, Bijot says, Linda Hamilton, great physical transformation for T2. Don't see a lot of actresses doing that nowadays.
Well,
Although I will
nowadays.
say, I
They
will
won't
say
even get their norks out these days.
I will say the girl who did, I know Dark Fate.
The tiny girl.
No, the really good.
The one who looks like a boy.
Yeah,
That one.
She
Sorry. They. Sorry.
she did all the training stuff, so she had the commitment for it. It's just a shame the material was bad.
It was absolute shit, that film. Sorry.
Ugh.
But it was absolute crap.
I know.
Should not have existed.
Worst Terminator film ever.
If I may,
Time and stop him from
You may.
making it.
MC in the chat says, Terminator Dark Fate is the modern remake. That's true, and that's why I will never, ever watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. don't
Terminator
waste your
Dork
time.
Fate, more like.
Brian, if you could kind of keep an eye on the chat while I do the picks, it just saves me going backwards and forwards, you see, with my shitty computer.
Backwards and forwards. October
Forwards and backwards. Ooh.
And also, right, when you look at that scene, there's a black man in charge. So, and we never thought anything of it.
What
in
you
those
talking about,
days.
Willis?
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't done to prove a point. It was just part of the
Exactly.
story.
That's right.
No agenda there whatsoever.
Good woke. Good woke.
Good woke.
Rick Rossovich or Slider or Matt, whatever he's called, is coming to see Ginger. I think Sarah Connor's been turned down for a date, so she's going to the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, her date called her and
she's-
cancelled.
Yeah, on the.
I think she's going to go and see Back to. No, she can't see Back to the Future because
not
Back to
out
the
yet.
Future's 95. Yeah.
1 year too early.
Yeah, exactly.
She might be going to see 1984.
Oh.
Maybe.
She's quite nicely sort of downtrodden, you know, the everyman type character.
Yes.
And it makes you a bit more sympathetic to her cause.
She could be seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark and sitting next to Indiana Jones. That would be in canon.
Yeah.
That'd be Temple of Doom, wouldn't it?
But also, as we can see in this film, that the hero of the whole film is Sarah Connor, which happens to be a female.
Yeah.
So when they're going on about, oh, we've got this first female, blah blah blah, they've been doing it for years.
Yeah. And she's not bulked up, she's not strong, she's not shooting guns at people,
Well
she's not beating anyone up, you know.
Well said, that man. Well said.
She was not a Mary Sue.
The young wokies have to feel special, so that's one of the reasons. I think the other reason is the studios quite like to entertain that and put it forward as if this is brand new, this is the newest thing, look at us, we're doing something great, and get bums and seats for people who are under 20.
But they've been doing it for years, so there you go.
Yeah. Kyle's watching.
Yeah. Because he knows what she looks like, obviously, because of the photograph that he had. So it was easy for him to track her, but the Terminator had to go through the phone book.
Yes.
Pizza shop, cafe, restaurant, eating pizza, and then possibly then on the news in the background, the Connor killings.
Yeah.
So she looks at the phone book, as you would do. Again, for the younger viewers, Google the phone book.
So which one is she then? That one there, Jay,
yes.
Sarah J.
Yeah.
So what's the Connor after her though? Is there another Sarah after that?
We don't know.
At the beginning, it just shows the 3 when Arnold's looking through the
phone. Oh, right, gotcha.
Yeah.
So there's only 3.
We're assuming that's not Arnold's finger.
No, that's no.
I would hope not.
It's
that's actually Carrie Fisher's fingernail.
So she leaves the restaurant and she's been followed.
And her hair is more puffy for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But,
Can you imagine if it was set today? The Terminator would be shit out of luck, wouldn't it? It'd be like Sarah would be transitioned into a man. Completely unrecognisable.
She'd be very easy to find with all the GPS on the phones and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Stanley Connor.
Is it Sarah or Stuart Connor?
Sydney Connor.
The Transitionator.
Yeah.
I had to think about that then. Matthew, that's my gift to you. Enjoy that, my friend.
You just made me think of a whole movie in the
Transitionator.
Oh my god, I love it.
Probably the Transitionator would. Yeah.
Change your pants if you want to live.
And then it sounds like a woman at the end.
Get to the changing room.
Are we not going to mention Pugsley, the reptile?
I think the reptile was mentioned earlier in the chats by somebody. Yeah, Pugsley, yes.
Strange name for a lizard.
Yeah.
Strange pet.
Yeah.
So she goes in Tech Noir, the nightclub, which I thought the music, I know it sounded, you guys said the soundtrack was shites, but I think the kind of music, I kind of like the soundtrack for these in the nightclub.
I think it's
of
really
its time, but really, yeah.
I love the name of the club though. I just adore that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Slightly meta. There's another shot you see Arnie that's right behind him, taking up most of the. Just after that,
should have called it Club Obi Wank.
I don't even know how she can hear that person on the phone with all that noise.
So again, for our younger viewers, back in day, what you would have to do is you would have to find a phone box or a phone that was usually it was attached to a wall, and what you would do is you would insert money into it.
Money? What's that?
And make a phone call.
50p's like PJ Maybe's television.
Oh, 50p's.
Captain knows about that.
Even in Blade Runner, you had to go to a fucking phone box in the middle of the club, didn't he? No mobiles in Blade Runner world. No.
What is it about TVs and movies?
Use a payphone. charge $1.83 for looking at Rachel's tits.
Everyone in clubs and pubs and bars and really noisy places can have just really basic low volume conversations with each other without getting drowned out by the music. You ever notice that?
Oh, the magic of film.
There's a Terminator trying to kill Stephen the Moron.
Oh, Stephen's here.
Yeah, that's a good scene though. And here he comes, man of the hour.
He's walking into Sarah J. Connor apartment where Ginger is.
I don't know how he got in though.
Yeah.
Go on, I'm so pumped. I'm making another coffee.
The front door.
Yeah, maybe
Nice.
maybe at the back or something.
No, he went in through the patio window.
That was it. Yeah.
The bedroom window, because he just slide would just boffed Ginger.
Yeah, he just did him in, didn't he? Poor old Ginger. She just gets it in the back.
Yeah, and then
Poor girl.
twice in one night.
Hey!
Hey-o.
And do you remember those Walkmans? The Walkman she was listening to. I used to have one of them. I think.
Yeah. Boom! Have that.
Yeah, it's a good stunt. Stunt lady. Boom.
And then with the new and improved soundtrack.
Mm.
And then, right at that very moment where he thought he'd done the target, guess who phoned up saying, "I'm at Tech Noir."
Sarah Connor. Yeah.
The script is very good. It's tight, isn't it?
guess.
Tight as a nun's job.
Yeah, it really is.
Thank you. And then
And there's where he finds a picture of her.
yeah. Spring 1984.
It's the oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nice hair.
And then he quickly legs it to, or hightails it to Tech Noir.
Remember that scene? That guy hasn't paid.
Douche, have
He
that.
squishes his hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Squishes his hand.
Yeah, so Kyle's at the bar.
Mm. So one of the most fascinating bits about this scene is there are two bits that are copied from this scene and placed in Terminator 2. Do you know what those two bits are, ladies and gentlemen?
The existence of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Well, I think she assumes the wrong person is the villain.
No,
Would be
that's
one of
not
them.
it.
No.
No, there's two iconic
Role
moments.
reversal.
Is it the
Gender
gun
swapping.
barrel POV shots?
No.
Oh.
It's obviously it's a line. So what does Kyle say to her?
Come with me,
Come with
if
me
you
if you
want
want
to
to
live.
Exactly. And Arnie says it in the second one. And then when Arnie gets pushed through the window by the T-1000, he falls the same way as he falls when he gets shot through the window in this scene. It's the same shot.
I'll have to
so
watch
they-
it.
It's
back.
very good, isn't he? The MegaGeek.
Yeah.
Great scene. That I do really fancy it though.
Oh yes.
It's been a while.
It's really hot, man.
And then
wasn't
Terminator
the
makes his
original
move.
Wasn't the original idea that serious moment coming? No joke here, same as usual. Before they got Arnie, the Terminator was going to be some kind of like anonymous everyman. So that when the scene was written, it was going to be that Arnie, not Arnie, but the anonymous-looking Terminator is in the club, but with Arnie, it works completely differently. This massive, muscle-bound Adonis storming in with his shotgun.
Yeah, it's true. And I think Lawrence Henderson, he went up for the part and he didn't get it.
Right.
So yeah, so I don't know who they wanted as the Terminator, but eventually they obviously settled on
Franco,
Arnie.
was it Franco Columbo? Or
I think so, but Arnie
that
was
Arnie's mate. Yeah.
yeah. When they saw Arnie, they thought, "Geez, this guy's a tank." So
Yeah.
they kind of changed the script to fit Arnie. So
Yeah.
I think they chose wisely. I mean, he's more terrifying that he's just so huge and like cut and everything. It's like, oh shit, this guy
Yeah.
can take me down. That's
It's-
scary.
Small
It makes
testicle
sense
flap.
that there's a deadly, war machine underneath, and the reason why he's that big is because they've had to put a human flesh on top of the machine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
therefore he's that big. You know what I mean? So it works in that respect.
Linda Hamilton admitted on Graham Norton that she didn't want to do it because Arnie was doing it, and she didn't know who he was, and she didn't want to work with an unknown that didn't know how to act, and blah blah blah.
Well, shit. Well, there you go. Cam in the chat says at the MegaGeek, I think that's you, Ian. The MegaGeek knows his stuff backwards and forwards. Hail Diaz.
Thank you very much,
Hail
Cam.
Diaz. Nice.
Right, moving on.
It's a good scene though, this scene, isn't it? Very tense.
Yeah, it is.
Especially with, as I said, especially with the music kind of with lots of reverb. It's really good.
And I just like how she has that whole fear of Kyle. And it's not Kyle she needs to be afraid of. Yeah, he's got the crazy eyes at the time because he's terrified of the Terminator. But it's not like he's stalking her and she keeps thinking this guy's stalking me. It's like, that's not the guy you need to be afraid of. This is the guy you need to be afraid of.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting.
It is. And I said, you can't fault Arnie. Arnie was totally inexperienced for this film, but it worked. It worked with the whole idea that he was a machine.
Didn't even say much, did he?
No.
No, but it was perfect.
Was it something like 40 words? And that was about it.
Something like that. 1 page, I guess. Or not even half a page.
And when he spoke very broken, kind of like how our interpretations of robots were in the 80s.
That's right.
So I think it was great.
Fuck you, asshole. Yeah.
Great.
I was speaking of fuck you, asshole. Did anybody see on the the titles that I did for the show this evening? I went out of my way to put on the bottom corner, "Fuck you, assholes."
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's there. I want because it's an iconic line.
It is, yeah.
It really is.
Apparently, in the German version, Arnie is dubbed because his accent is apparently too rural.
Yeah.
Like the original Darth Vader.
Top trivia.
Yes. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
I'll give you my combined arbiter. Fuck you, are. So
Look at that for acting. Look at that look. That is acting.
Yeah, that's Arnold when he gets hit with a paternity suit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The cleaner is
Not
pregnant.
the fucking maid again.
Gosh.
Yeah, I wanted to ask
an
a question
ugly
here.
woman.
You know, Michael Bean, that cut on below his mouth, is that real or is that makeup?
I think it's
real
real.
Does he have that cut?
Well, have a look at Aliens and you'll find out.
Okay.
Jen.
I want to say it's real because I could swear he has it in real life.
Yeah.
I may be buffering. Again, another iconic kind of pose.
Shot, as it were. Is that,
Shots
is that
fired.
an Uzi 9mm in your pocket? Or are you just pleased
Pleased to see me, yeah.
Oh.
And there's just people just fucking going down like.
Yeah. When he shoots that guy that's covers her, shoots her, and he falls on top of her, and it's another scene where it's really tense as he's walking towards her. She's trying to get out from underneath him. That's a good scene as well.
Yeah, that's
So
what
they
before ecstasy.
Yeah, acid house. So they managed to escape from the club and they're running down the alleyway, and then obviously you've got the classic heads-up display.
Yeah.
The Terminator.
It's kind of cool because you get to see what he sees,
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
And then don't they blow the car up or something?
No,
Shoot the petrol tank.
yeah, he shoots
it. Yeah.
But that doesn't happen in real life if you shoot a petrol tank, apparently.
No.
So, but
What?
yeah, it does happen in films,
It
though.
doesn't?
No,
The
it doesn't. Apparently.
magic of film.
Kidding.
That's quite unrealistic. When you actually blow up a fuel
so-
tank, I think you'll find the column of air will push the flames more upwards more than in the outward cinematic area. They did take some liberties with the physics there.
So they hotwire a car. I do apologise. A lot of the scenes are dark because obviously it's at night.
But the time travel was absolutely solid.
That's a good
Zero
stunt.
paradoxes. Everyone can understand.
So
it.
they come out the sea, they come out the alley, and Terminator's after them, and they smash into him, don't they? He's still kind of burning from the fire a little bit.
Yes.
This is where his hairstyle changes dramatically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Where's
the
Doc Brown at
police
this
are there.
Where's
Oh, yeah,
Marty?
mate.
And then Kyle gets arrested.
Yeah, it's almost like it's two different people, two Arnolds.
Is this before after the sea dance, under the sea dance, or after? I can't remember.
Yeah.
No,
Is
it's
this-
during,
is this-
mate.
Is this
yeah.
is this when Biff Tannen shows up?
He's lost his eyebrows, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it looks even more like a robot now.
Well, maybe they've been
Yeah.
singed.
that's why he wears those glasses, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Gargoyle.
And then a car chase.
It's
The
a good
first
chase,
of-
actually.
First of many.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite long.
That's what she said.
And then she,
Sorry.
Bites him.
yeah, because he's telling the story of where he's come from and all this stuff.
He will
In the
not
future.
stop until you are dead.
Till you
Yeah.
are dead.
And she's just thinking, this guy's got crazy eyes. He's crazy.
Yeah. On Scottish Dentist Time, 2:30.
Very tense though when he says that. He will
Yeah.
not
I'm
stop
from the
ever.
future.
until you are dead.
So they're in the parking lot, and the police are after them, and there's lots of police, but they don't see them.
I'm from the future, a possible future or the inevitable future. The inevitable future, of course, dummy. Come with me.
Q another thing, and yes, Cam, it was me. I thought I got away with it.
I heard
Obviously
it,
not.
I just didn't
Isn't this where we find out that the Terminator can mimic voices? Don't we? We find that.
That was in the previous thing with the cop car where he just
Yeah,
Yeah.
He imitates someone's
where are we?
voice.
It's that one. It's
Yeah,
that one.
he
Yeah,
answers
yeah,
the
he does,
radio
yeah.
call.
Yeah.
'Cause he
Hey, Brown,
twats
can you
the
imagine
police
if they
officer.
read Brown?
Which is a nice setup for later on.
Cockney.
Yes, it
What if
is.
they redid the Terminator but set it in Manchester in 1989? And he drops the gun and just starts raving it for the last half of the movie.
Well,
Brilliant.
everybody would go home. It'd be amazing.
The Hugginator. You're my best fucking
That's
mate.
creepy.
Let's start a drum circle. Hugginator. He will not stop until you are chilled.
So they hotwire the car, and then boom, he's there with no eyebrows, because obviously they'll have been singed off. I didn't notice that
Yeah.
then. Nice touch.
It is good.
I
Didn't
bet
notice
Cesar
that.
Romero would still have his moustache though.
Yeah. Second car chase. Again, this is an iconic scene through the subway of. Whereabouts is this, Reni? In Los Angeles?
Yeah, LA. I don't know exactly where it was in LA because I didn't really drive the roads there until I want to say the late 90s and 2000s. But yeah, I want to say near Santa Monica.
So this
but
is
I
the
could be
first-
wrong.
This is the first scene he worked on, Arnie, the car scene, because he started work 2 weeks later than the rest of the cast and crew. So this is the very first scenes that he was doing. Apparently.
A lot of these scenes in LA at night is because Cameron had no money and no permits. It's guerrilla filming, isn't it, Ian?
No, no, that's not true. I mean, he had 6 million, and he did have permission to do stuff like that. It's obvious that there are stunt people driving the car. You can't get away with stuff like that. Yes, it's true in French Connection, the chase was done like that, guerrilla style, and there was no stunt people. Well, there was a stunt person that was driving it, but in this, they had stuff arranged.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so
guerrilla filming is filming without the necessary permits.
Yeah, they'd get stopped by the police because I mean, I don't know where this is, what city this is in.
Los Angeles.
Los
It's
Angeles, they would have got
supposed to be
stopped.
Los Angeles, but I don't know if they really filmed it there.
Yeah,
is the
I
problem.
don't know either. But the thing is, though, yeah, they did have permission to do. There's no way you can do all that stuff and just do it guerrilla style. everybody be arrested, everybody be in jail. James Cameron would have been kicked out.
I mean, you guys have heard of the LAPD, right?
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with them. They're pretty brutal. Just saying.
Yeah. But does it say that for a fact though, that they did it guerrilla style? Because I'm
sure. I'm sure I saw an interview where he said he
look at
did
that.
some guerrilla style filming.
They did, like, for instance, you know, the bit where he puts his hand through the window, that area that they shot in, that was guerrilla. I mean, they just rolled up to that area and shot, you know, without permission. But to do a car chase, you've got to have permission.
Yeah, I would
There's
imagine.
no way you can
I would
disguise
imagine this
that.
would be. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way you can disguise it at all.
So Arnie's car goes into the wall.
No, they'll kill you, Kyle. They'll kill you.
Yeah, because all the police are in the background.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Of course, he's gone.
Yeah, convenient.
Thing is, he was damaged though. That's why he didn't stay to try and kill her. He had to repair himself. So
so they go to the police shop, and Sarah Connor's just been told about Ginger.
Yeah.
Good performance, right there.
Nearly everyone's got their eyes shut in this screenshot.
yeah.
Good shot.
It's a good performance by her there, actually, in my opinion.
Cam in the chat. It was cheaper to shoot at night for Terminator. The French Connection chase scene is one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever filmed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt it's cheaper to shoot in a night. But as I said, you can't get away with stuff that they did in that film without permits and stunt people. You know,
Dr. Silverman in the background there.
Oh, he's terrific, isn't he? So funny, that guy.
He's in what, number 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Terminator goes back to his abode and repairs damage.
Yes, that was a really creepy
This
scene.
is where the horror. This is the horror element in those days. You know, was all about cutting people's head off. If you, if you look at that Friday the 13th, you know, poor old Bacon gets a spear through his throat. Yeah,
he like cuts his eyeball out or his eyeball. Oh, so gross. I can't
There's
watch
the Luke Skywalker Empire Strikes Back moment.
Yep. So we go back to the police station. Kyle is telling them the truth. They just think he's
mad,
crazy. Yeah.
Loco.
He says he could make a career out of this guy alone.
He's a total loon.
Yeah.
You see, he has no proof to what he's saying. It's a clever story.
Then on to the special effects. Arnie.
Yeah, because that wasn't that a puppet that they used?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Stan Winston.
Yeah, see, when you look at
shoulders
that,
up.
yeah, it's like, oof.
It was a puppet, a mirror, a Muppet, 2 strings.
And then as soon as he puts the glasses on, it's like, it just comes to life. Yeah, that still is.
That's the look, man. That's the Terminator.
It's a puppet.
God, the look. Gargoyle sunglasses.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank you, Cockney. Product placement. So he leaves the...
Where did he get the leather jacket from?
I don't remember them showing you in this movie because they showed you him stealing the original clothes.
Terminator from the future, sir. Oh, time-traveling robot. Oh,
I'm assuming that
he got it from somewhere. Which
he broke into the apartment, didn't he?
Oh, well, it was a motel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it a
motel?
motel?
Yeah, it's a hotel, I think. Yeah.
All right, so he must have got it from there then.
Yeah, so he obviously killed the occupant.
Yep.
I like how
they want to see the superintendent or whoever that guy was.
I like how they're playing that tape on pneumatic tape. So you guys don't know what pneumatic tape is, do you? Really old format.
Big video
tape. Yeah. Big old pneumatic tapes, and they stop it just at the moment where he's screaming at her, screaming at, you know, you got to protect her. You're all dead. Yeah, that bit. You're all
You're
dead.
all gonna die. Yeah.
Which mirrors what happens in the second one as well, because it's not him, it's her now. That's on video.
And she's actually in an insane asylum.
That's right.
Yeah.
With the same psychiatrist as well.
Michael Bean really selling it right here again, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because he sees the Terminator in the second one, then he realizes, oh, it was true.
So
Well, there's something about actors that the first time they do stuff, they really put everything into it, because all these actors that were in this film, apart from a few of them, they were all, starting out, and they all had to prove themselves. They wanted to prove themselves. So, yeah, they gave it their all of them.
I think technically everybody involved was just starting out, including the production crew.
Not everyone. I mean, Cameron has got experience behind him, and the guy that played the black guy that
but was this Cameron's kind of first proper attempt at doing something proper?
I think so. I'm not sure though, because his first attempt was the Piranha film, wasn't it?
When did he do Rambo?
Battle Beyond the Stars as well.
Yes, he did the effects for Battle Beyond the Stars.
The breasted spaceship.
Yeah.
He did Rambo though, right?
No, he wrote Rambo. He wrote the screenplay for Rambo 2, First Blood. So, yeah. I'll be back. This is the bit in it. Classic.
I want to see Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
And he just drives the car in.
But I like the detail in this scene where he literally, when he says "take a seat," he looks up and he looks at how it's all built, so he can figure out how to smash the car into the thing.
Yeah, that's pretty great that he was assessing everything and what he needs to do to break into it.
That's what Terminators do.
Pretty
then
good.
Wallop.
Poor guy gets squished.
Yeah. And then a war starts.
I like to think those two cops survived this onslaught, because I hate to think they're dead.
I think he died.
Well, the rest of them are dead.
Yeah,
it was never confirmed, was it? I guess.
No.
Oh, it's like so iconic.
Yeah. It's really, powerfully scary, isn't it? When it's just an unstoppable force. And at this moment, you realise there's nothing that can stand in his way.
You can't escape it.
Yeah.
How long do you have to run before you can defeat it?
Stop.
That's what she said.
I think she's coming to the realization that what Kyle was saying to her is true, isn't she? That means.
Yeah.
Arnie kills everyone.
Take the lights out.
He kills everyone.
Kyle
prisoners.
Escapes.
Yeah,
it's like iconic.
But it was very much a time of guns on screen.
Guns.
Yeah, what is it? Prosthetics. Bloody prosthetics and stuff. It was very much that time. And horror was sold quite a lot. Thrillers, horrors.
Yeah. So Captain Terrell is getting it, but we don't actually know if he dies. He gets shot.
Yeah, he gets shot in the stomach, and he doesn't.
But we don't know if
and he
dies.
falls back.
I like to think that he didn't die, personally.
Lance Erickson got it, though, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Both barrels.
You wouldn't come if I just asked.
So
he would have survived, though. He's an android. He's fine.
Yeah. I think that's Kyle and Sarah Connor in the detention room. They escape.
They do indeed.
Arnie's there with his Uzi.
Uzi 9mm.
Walks off.
It is a very, very good scene. This scene's really good. Have you seen the director's cut of this scene?
I haven't. No.
Where he basically he starts crying, doesn't he, when he says everything is gone? Everything I know is gone and stuff.
Right,
really good performance by Bean. Yeah, really good performance.
It's a closed loop. It's fucking inevitable. I'm friends with your son. In a way, you're my Mrs. Patterson.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Patterson.
Thank you very much, Miss Patterson. Thank you.
I am Kevin the teenager.
Moving on.
So this is he's just basically telling all the backstory of what it's like in the future, isn't it? That,
he does.
Mankind was on the edge.
If you ever get a chance to see the director's cut, guys, you should watch it. It's fascinating.
I don't think I've seen
it.
It
adds more detail. I like it.
In the future. This shot here, though, it looks like he's just been promised a shag, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's going, yes.
Finally,
Yes, get in.
score.
I think we kind of flash forward to the future.
Yeah, because
You never-
he hears the dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
and
Oh, that's my
sets him
favourite
off.
bits. The future war bits. I just love those.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of that.
Good. The future looks very, very scary, doesn't it?
Yeah, very
Yes.
bleak. It's like, oh
When
my
I-
gosh, they've got to
when I-
survive. They've got to, they've got to triumph. This sucks.
No,
When those two little kids captured the rat, and they're happy that they've captured the
yeah,
rat,
yeah.
that means dinner basically.
Exactly.
probably the most frightening thing is no Twitter.
Oh my gosh, that would not be a bad thing.
Yeah, in that future,
Cockney would not be happy.
contract is still solid, ironclad.
Every dystopian future has a silver lining.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
In this scene, this is where we see Franco Colombo. There he is.
Yeah.
There.
Busy
5'5" Arnie's best mate.
Who
Spanish.
recently died, didn't he?
A couple of years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
At the ripe old
Obviously-
age of 78.
Wow. Obviously, the dogs are going mental.
Yeah. He, I thought it was Arnie at first when I first saw this movie, and I was like, no, it's not Arnie. But yeah, it's a good scene. I think does he kill everyone?
Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's a good scene, and the picture gets burnt.
He has to burn it in his memory now.
Yeah, it's a good scene. And they have that. It's obvious they put a mask on his face so his eyes could glow.
That was my favourite shot of the whole movie, and Brown didn't show it. Damn it.
Which one?
Damn it, Brown.
Oh, you mean the Terminator with the glowing eyes?
Yeah.
in the
I
corridor.
actually, sorry, mate. I chopped it off the list. I did screen
You
grab it.
chopped it off.
Oh, yes. Not that there's
Sorry.
anything to chop off, but there you go. So we're back to present day. They've had a kip.
Mm. And he's hard because he's given her his coat. He can take the cold.
She's cold.
Yeah.
And it's back to the prosthetic.
Pathetic, did you say?
I can't even say it. Prosthetic.
Yay.
Moving on.
He said it.
There are some
Very-
shots.
yeah.
There are some shots on YouTube where they actually redid some of these effects. Have you seen them?
Mm-mm.
Some special effects guy went in and redid them.
I can imagine
Yeah.
they were amazing.
Well, they're okay. weren't great. There's the guy.
What did you say? Hey, fella, have you got something
Yeah.
dead in there or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's what he says. And he goes, "Fuck you, asshole."
Yeah, so
Here we
great.
go.
Because he said
That-
just for the proper response, you know.
Yeah.
That is inside of my head every day.
Imagine if he said,
Possible
"Go away,
response.
go away."
Yes, no, or what? Go away.
Please
Come back later. I'm going on Twitter. Fuck you.
Yeah, right.
I'm having a wank.
Pick the best one.
Doctor Who's
That's
not
what
coming
she said.
on.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Possible response. Yes, no. That's what she said.
Moving. Pineapple pizza. Shut up, Wesley. Shut-
Shall we just end the stream there, boys and girls? On a high.
No, that's messed up.
Fuck
I
you,
swear.
We've peaked.
Don't Terminator.
Obviously, everybody who's watching this live, that doesn't apply to you. But everybody who isn't watching this stream, who should be watching this stream, moving on.
Rude.
You're the present.
Um,
Now, future.
Terminator
yeah.
has got some of Sarah Connor's possessions and Mom's cabin, Big Bear, with the famous movie phone number 555.
Yeah.
What, 555 doesn't exist? Damn it!
Correct.
What?
No.
I wonder why those numbers didn't work.
That's crazy.
So en route to Big Bear, probably. They've got a hotel room.
Yeah.
Because he stole some money.
Does he? Does he? He doesn't have a shower, does he? Or does he?
I don't think so. I know she does.
Not at that moment. So he's off to get some supplies. There you go.
He stole all that money, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, funny thing, you can't pay for a hotel or a motel with cash anymore. You either have to have a credit card or you're screwed.
Oh, right.
That's a real thing.
Exactly where you've been.
Did not know that. Did not know that.
Yep, deposit for the alcohol.
Well, it's because of all the damages that people do to the rooms. So
I see.
You can't blame them.
Yeah, she has a shower, but he doesn't.
Yeah, Cam. Thank you, Cam. Well put. I think the critical drinker will be very disappointed with the "fuck you" comment.
Why?
When he watches this stream.
Hello, drinker.
Hello, critical.
There's Arnie.
At Mum's house doing the voice of Mummy.
Yes, it's amazing how Arnie did that, isn't it? I didn't know. How did he do it? How did he do it? It's amazing.
Yet another
supplies.
Mm.
Mothballs.
Yeah.
Ammonia.
What's for dinner? Or?
Ammonia.
T-shirts to build bombs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator on his way.
Stole some bike.
Because he rang the Did he ring the hotel or no? Sorry, Sarah Connor rang her mother, and it was the Terminator.
It was.
Yeah.
And she told him where they are.
I know. The whole time you're like, oh no. And even though I've seen this movie over and over again, I'm like, no, don't tell him. And she did it anyways.
I'm in love with you, Sarah.
And then, yes, a very touching scene, even though they were getting it on.
Yeah, and the obligatory sex scene. In those days, they always used to have a sex scene in films that are R-rated, yeah.
Kiss, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Are those your bollocks or mine?
I love you, Mrs. Petson.
And he didn't even have a shower either.
I know.
You know what I mean?
That's about the one scene I felt didn't quite work when he says I love you. It's like when he says I love you, I think,
But how do you know? Because you just met me. Yeah.
No, well, he had the picture in it all the time of her, and he memorized her face, and he fell in love with her through the picture.
Yeah.
And through the stories, I think. But still, it's kind of like, well, was that really love, or were you kind of obsessed?
Infatuation,
yeah, you're right.
It was just come. Moving on.
So Terminator comes. Moving on. So Terminator hotel doggy woof woof.
Yep.
I was quite surprised that Linda Hamilton, went nude for that scene, the sex scene.
Oh, she was getting them groped and everything.
Yeah.
Boobs.
Boobs. I wasn't going to mention it, Reni, but you did.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
So Terminator goes through the front of the hotel room and they escape, and then he gets the motorbike. So getting to towards the end now.
It's funny when you see these scenes. When you see these scenes, you realize how much was lifted from the second one. The second one lifted this scene as well. Obviously, they end up in the.
Second one for the first one. Whoa.
Yes. Well, I'm just saying that it's even though when you see Terminator 2, it's a great movie. When you look closely, what they were doing was just imitating the scenes from the first one, but making it better and bigger. Yeah.
It's like poetry rhymes.
MC in the chat. Boobs.
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 Boobs are good, mate. Boobs are good.
ATAV. All titties are valid.
So this scene is with Arnie on the bike, and he's throwing bombs at him, and in the second one,
the grenade things they've made, aren't
grenades. They? Second one is Arnie in the car with a helicopter chasing him. So they just up the ante on the second one. This one
being on Twitter.
Well, I don't know about up to the ante, up to the budget.
Yes,
well, look at it.
Yeah.
So they lose control of the vehicle because Kyle gets shot as well, doesn't he?
Yes.
And yeah, that was it.
Shot in the arm.
The grenade thing falls and woof, it goes up, doesn't it?
They broke
Terminator
my wire.
there. Before he gets... Go on in.
I was just saying that I thought the film slowed down when they went to the hotel room. It slowed down considerably. It was, I thought
they had to show how John Connor came into
was
it.
conceived.
Yeah. I guess
the truck is coming in, is going to run him over.
This bit, this one of my favourite bits of foreshadowing, I think, in any film, because you see him going under the truck, the Mack truck, and then if you think previously, before he shoots his first victim, he drives over the same Mack truck, little toy.
Yeah,
I spotted that.
Good call.
Well done, Brian.
And the famous half a face Arnie scene in the Terminator. He's always got to have half a face, isn't he?
Right.
With blood and stuff.
Which again, due to budgetary values, got better and better through the films.
It did. But if they did it today, it would probably be amazing.
See, Brown, right? You know,
the deep faked John Connor.
Brown.
Sorry, Cockney.
Right. You know when Back to the Future, when Doc Brown's at home in 1955, right? And then Marty shows up and he's like, he's got that fucking lamp on his head. Not Marty, but Brown, right? At that moment, they're in a separate timeline, because otherwise you would have gone, Marty, all this time I've known you, when you've been, dicking around with your guitar, did you know that I saw you back in 55, thus proving that my invention of the time travel machine was somehow inevitable? Do you know what I mean? That doesn't happen in the Terminator, so I hope that explains.
Yeah, I understand the concept of that, yes.
Always gone back. It's a closed loop. There's one universe, which is obviously Universe B. Right? I mean, have you not seen the video? There's no Universe A, Brown, because it never happens. Because the time happens. It always happens.
Moving on.
I mean? It's easy when you think about it. I've done a video. I've done several videos. No one's seen them, but maybe they will in the future. Moving on. Yoko's right.
Matt G in the chat, second outing for this evening. Bacon.
Oh, God.
I think he thinks
I really want
someone here
bacon.
likes bacon.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Too late for bacon.
No, I don't know. Well, not for me.
Damn it.
Grenade in the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hey.
not banana.
Instead of a banana.
It escalates, quite right.
And then the
Got a back
projection shot.
You tell that. Yeah.
Which is probably sorry, Cockney.
Shape or form.
I think that was a miniature. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I was going to say it looked like a miniature. Yes. Back
she was
projection. Miniature.
It looked like a Michael Bay action scene to me. I don't know why.
They shrunk her down. Small, far away.
See, this is cool because he burns his flesh off, and you get to see the exoskeleton and like what's behind.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was a miniature. It looks like a miniature.
Stop
I'm just
motion.
watching a bit now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was far away.
But it just goes to show how brilliant.
This is stop motion.
What's his name was? The director. He just goes to show that he knew exactly what he wanted to shoot, and try to do it with minimum money as possible. So.
Cam in the chat. Bacon is good anytime.
Yeah.
And they had that burn, didn't they? When the stunt guy comes out of the truck and he's burning.
Yeah.
That's I can tell you through experience that's really scary, because I directed a film where this stunt guy had to be burnt, and it's really scary. I don't understand how they could take it for that amount of time being burnt
they
from
get
head
really
to foot.
hot, don't they?
No, they spray something on them
I think it's a fire retardant gel or something.
Yes, and so when they set them alight, they don't feel the heat. They feel kind of cold.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Brown. You can't legal department. You can't say fire retardant anymore. It's
Fire repellent.
It's differently flammable.
It's really scary because you know, when the guy's going to do it, you think to yourself something might go wrong, but you know they know exactly what they're doing.
MC of the present, just rewind that back a minute. It's a slow burner of a joke. Just it ripples into your subconscious. Chuckling should begin now.
Kyle is starting to feel his wounds now. His bullet wound.
You killed him.
He's on the way out.
You can't move.
So we get treated to a combination of stop motion and actually practical effects.
We do.
Yes.
We do.
Practical.
Oh, see, that's a scary shot.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Kathleen
Iconic,
Kennedy.
brilliant.
Genius design, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Coffee
Yeah.
for Mr. Schwarzenegger.
But even in the second one, they used the physical. They had the skeletons on top of people's shoulders, and they were walking around with it. I remember seeing the making of it. So they even in the second one, they did the same thing. So.
Yeah, it took like 5 people to operate the one.
Yeah.
Something about like a metal skeleton with like evil red glowing eyes. It just
3
scares
hours.
the hell out of you. It's like,
So more stop motion, I think, on this.
Yes, that bit was
Kyle
stop
twats him with a big steel pipe, and then he throws in the grenade thing into the Terminator, and then
he
boom.
puts it in his rib cage.
Yeah,
And when it blows up, you actually see the head separate from the body, and then
the
head.
body fly down. Yeah,
yeah. And then when you see it, it's the head still attached.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she's got like a bolt or something in the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can hear the squish as she pulls it out.
And it's gone.
You're intimidated, fucker.
He's dead.
He
Gone.
did.
Gone.
He did.
I loved you, Sarah.
And
Yeah.
then the bit that Ian likes, the bit crawling over the body.
That's really
Ugh.
cool. Really
Yeah,
cool.
it's creepy. It's like, oh, come on, man.
Mm.
Can't kill this damn thing.
Very reminiscent of Aliens.
Yes.
A bit of what was I going to say? A bit of trivia here that she actually hurt her leg, and she sprained her ankle, I think, or something like that. And that she actually went through the whole scene in pain doing this scene here.
Top trivia.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why she sells it so much.
Yeah, exactly.
or so well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I will say to Dalek 451, you should watch it, mate. It's a great film.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh,
watch
It's a
it.
great film.
Yeah, treat yourself, Dalek. Treat yourself. Man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah, great film.
Mm. Well, you're a Dalek. You probably appreciate it more.
Exterminate.
Terminate.
I will say I don't think I enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed First Blood last night.
Really? I enjoy this more, but I think it's because for me it was more of the, I don't know if it was the, like, because I was really into the whole cyborg and robots thing, or if it was because of the time travel thing, but or the suspense thing. I felt like this was way more suspenseful, and it kept me on the edge of my seat when I was younger, and it still does to this day when I watch it.
Yeah.
Even though I know what's going to happen, I know the outcome. I'm just like, oh, it's so creepy.
Like with First Blood, we had 2 VHS recorders and recorded this, so I did watch it a lot when I was a teenager. I think maybe because of what's happened with the following Terminator films, maybe I've just kind of reached saturation point with Terminator, but not actually knowing it. Whereas with First Blood, it's probably the first time I've seen Rambo in quite a while, First Blood in a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe I was just more receptive to it. But Terminator is great.
Yeah.
Terminator never helped the Taliban. I'll give him that.
No.
Oh no.
Terminator's still crawling through the
Compactor.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like, why won't you die?
No,
Just
shut them
die.
all down, R2.
Terminated.
That hand was
fucker.
pretty close, wasn't it? It was pretty close
Yeah.
to choking her.
Terminated fucker.
And it just squished and his eyes went out. And he
And
noticed
that's how
it.
you know he
That's,
was finally gone.
That's like Cockney at the beginning of one of his streams.
Or he had coffee.
And you know, in the
Oh.
director's cut, they find the hand in the director's cut.
Wow.
Yes,
Oh, even
that's
better.
awesome. You were
So,
right.
yeah.
I will say Dalek 451 then. I think you need to find the director's cut then, mate,
Yeah.
for the full.
Yeah. I'm going to make a note of that.
Yeah.
It's so
Director's
much
cut.
better. Yeah.
Director's cut, everybody. Homework. Director's cut.
Director's cut.
Yeah.
So the compressor or the things coming down.
Yep.
Squish 'em.
The hand drawn lightning.
Oh, I would like to say something to Cockney. So if you go on this version, it's a closed loop.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
if you
please
go,
don't.
but if you go with the director's cut
Oh no.
version,
Yes.
it's slightly
no.
different.
Yes, it is.
No!
Oh
Oh no.
Right,
How
Brown,
come?
what gets left behind? What part of the Terminator gets left behind, Brown?
Ian,
I-
this is all your fault.
I know.
I think I need to watch the director's edition then.
Yeah.
It really
Or I
is
can
a better
possibly
movie,
comment.
though.
Why
It
is it
adds
different?
more
Because they find the
detail.
hand?
Yes.
But if they find the hand, they then leads them to the technology which creates the
That's
Terminator in
right.
the first place.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
close-
still
but
be a
that's what
closed loop.
Terminator 2 said, anyways.
Yeah,
because
maybe.
They had it in the glass, remember?
Yeah, yeah. I just said that to wind up Cockney. That's all.
so happy. Aren't you
But you were wrong.
nothing to complain about? This for me is how this is textbook how to do time travel. Closed loop, nice and neat. None of that Avengers multi-universe bollocks, and certainly not
I'm so sorry I said it now.
raising a time.
Not as sorry as us.
Nice and straight.
Um,
Could not be easier to understand. One timeline, universe B itself. It's a closed loop. Wait, Scott, what happened with Skynet? Well, they sent back a Terminator. What happened with the Terminator? Well, he got killed. Apart from his hand, what they did with his hand, they studied it. What happened with the studies? Well, they made Skynet. What happened with Skynet? Well, they made Terminators. What happened with the Terminators? They sent him back in time. What happened? Well, he got crushed, didn't he? But he left his hand behind. What happened to the hand? Well, they studied it. What happened to the study? Well, they made Skynet, didn't they? What happened with the Skynet? They made Terminators. What happened with the Terminators? They
Oh,
sent
God.
them back. You know what I mean? It's
What have you
closed.
started, Diaz?
I don't know. I don't know.
Can we move on,
Perfect.
please?
I'll do it. That's all right. I'll be covering all of it.
uh,
Break the closed loop, for God's sake.
Closed
close
loop.
the
I
loop.
think there's
And
I
move
think there's
on.
another stream coming here at some point.
Paradox.
Not like
Still going on
451
there.
the chat says.
Prevents
Shut up,
the-
Cockney.
And then
Exactly. What
MC
Dalek
says
451 said? Someone shut up, Cockney. He's always going on that fucking
the
side.
Blu-ray has both.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah.
MC, yes, and the and the CPU from his head.
Yes,
Sir.
yes, yes.
And
But
live.
the second one obviously throws a spanner in the works because
Yeah.
obviously they send the T1000 to back in time, and also another version of the Terminator as well. So I don't know about that. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? Before we get in trouble.
Yeah,
T1000
don't prod the lion.
Anakin Skywalker, but the thing is, it was a standard factory model. So well done, Anakin. You put a kit together. So fucking what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
PJ, maybe.
So the police and ambulance and everybody turns up. Sarah's there.
She sees him get zipped up, doesn't he? Yeah, zipped up in the bag.
Oh,
Yeah, sad.
Basically,
Very
they
sad.
freeze his body for the future because aliens. They need him to to lead the alien, the
Oh my
soldiers and
God.
aliens. So they wake him up and they go, right, you're a
Give them an
soldier
alternate
again.
identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
she's making a audio
Yeah.
podcast for
Yeah.
John.
Storm's coming.
It is. She's heavily pregnant.
Well, not that heavy. There you go.
Maybe she knew about the YouTube. She's going, welcome to the Sarah Connor show. And this week on Sarah Connor, it's Kathleen.
Welcome to the Sarah Chronicles.
She's got a Rambo thing on, hasn't she? There you go.
Doggy in the background.
35 years from now, geeks and nerds everywhere are going to be talking about how I'm the strongest woman in cinema.
Yeah.
When I was watching the film today, when Kyle was talking about when he served from 2021 to 2029. Moving on.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's one of
saw
the
his
points.
own grave?
Probably.
Because his body would be two car races in Universe B.
They don't like it up. They don't like the cold steel.
They don't
Little
like
kid.
the parallel universes up them.
Little kid tried to hustle her.
Great
and
hustle,
she pays
kid.
$4. $4 for the
yes.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The poor kid, he had no free will. He was compelled by physical inevitability to take that picture because it had already been taken. He
Storm
had no
coming.
choice in the matter. He was no longer.
I always
Mark.
wondered if this was an effect, this shot here, whether it was a matte shot. It might be real. You can't tell.
Kyle
really.
hadn't burnt that picture. They'd have had a frame of
Hard
reference.
to tell.
Take
Yeah,
a
it's hard
picture
to
like
tell.
this picture.
I
It's a good
think
shot,
it did look.
Processed.
Yeah.
I love it.
Still good though.
Yeah.
There's a storm.
Nice perspective.
Yeah, because the clouds are above are dark. Really, there should be more shadow at the bottom.
Yes,
but there isn't. It's all light.
Still good.
I thought it's very, very Stanley Kubrick. I thought it's a bit of a tip of the hat, bit of a pastiche, or was it more homage?
It's really funny because in the beginning it says it doesn't really say it's a James Cameron film, does it? It says there's all these things stuck with James Cameron film, doesn't it? There's all these other titles. Handmade presents Pacific Western production of a James Cameron film. It says
this credit was brought to you by a lawsuit from Harlan Ellis.
Yeah, I was say lawsuit. Yeah, that went on for a while, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to, but
it out.
He had to by court order.
Yeah. That's it.
Yep.
Short stream tonight, 3 hours 10.
Oh, that's it.
I want to talk more time travel.
Oh God!
Oh, yeah,
you'll
be doing it on your channel.
No,
so, right, okay. So I will just say to everybody in the chat, guys, you are the best. We are nothing without you guys, and it truly is a privilege that you spend your Saturdays with us. So absolutely top draw as always, guys. Dalek 451, you should check out the director's cut. I think I'm going to try and check it out. So so the usual guys, Matt G, MC, Bishop Moore was in there at some point, Dalek 451, Captain Spock, I think Sandra was in there, Cam, Tyrone,
hottest guy in the chat.
Yeah, who else was there? Edge of Time, The Edge, Tyrone, to name but a few. One sentence from each of you guys, and then we'll call it a draw. So, Reni, Terminator, one sentence.
Awesome movie. Actually, it's 2 words. Oh well.
More of just 2 words, not a sentence, but spot on anyway. So, Brian.
Quickly, cult movie, iconic imagery, very, very well written. The effects might not hold up today, but the story certainly does. I would say it's classic 80s sci-fi, but for me, it's a bit above many of the rest in terms of the intelligence of the concept that it explores. Yeah. The sequels, well, I enjoyed most of them. I like to pretend they don't exist.
Yeah.
Could have been a one-off.
Yeah. Swappers?
I think this end scene here is great. I just wish it was Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart and Reni was singing it.
Oh my God.
With a croaky voice. Captain?
I would say it's a veritable masterclass in screenwriting vis-a-vis time.
Yeah, agreed.
Finally managed to get it right. A closed loop that makes sense. Bravo.
and MegaGeek.
Yeah, it's a classic, and it's worth your time. That's all I can say.
It is. Again, today I watched it, and I've not watched it for a long time. It's great. The script is quite tight, isn't it? So really good. So you what, Cockney? You broke up.
That's what she said. No, someone did.
Yeah, moving on.
Brilliant.
Okay, so I will just say, as I said,
quite right. 2 p.m. time for me Sunday dinner over here.
Yeah, Cockney's going to be doing something later, probably something on Sunday night. So it's dinner time for him now. So I think we're all off to bed.
Yeah.
Here at the end, it says acknowledgement for the works of Harlan Ellison. Is that the guy from the Twilight Zone episode?
And Star Trek.
Okay.
And Babylon 5.
And
amongst other things. Okay, guys. So I will thank the guests. Reni, thank you, my darling.
Thank you. As always, a pleasure. Always a pleasure chatting with all of you. Brian, Matt, Ian, Mr. Brown, Cockney. Really appreciate all of you guys. And I really have appreciated getting to know you as friends. And special thank you to Tyrone for showing up today. And that's all I've got. Thank you, chat.
Thank you, my darling. Swapshop, cheers, pal.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. It's been lovely. Amazing talking to everybody yet again. And Reni, you just made me tear up.
Oh, Brian, thank you, my friend.
No worries.
Cheers. Thanks to Swappers, Reni, Captain, Ian, of course, the chat, and of course, yourself, Mr. Brown. Thanks again for the invite.
Yeah. Captain, you're a pain in the ass, but wouldn't be the same without you, mate. Cheers.
Soapy tit wank.
Indeed. MegaGeek, thank you, my friend.
No worries.
Bedtime now, mate. So
it is.
Cheers, everybody. We will see you soon. Terminated.
Cheers.